Stream Elements says, Scorpwana is now live. Streaming Star Trek Online, Wriggle or Wiggle. /rating disabled, October 2nd, 2022.
Below. Alright, let's get this piece of shit running. Ball sack, swinging front to back.
Just Call Makor says, piece of shit running.
Flopping all over the damn place. Hello. Piece of shit car. I have a piece of shit car. He's a fucking pile of shit. Come on, girls. Come on. How are you doing, man? We did it. You like to make a game go right. Take two to make it out of time. I moved the toggle command over to my random tools script instead of just the singular sound
Pyro
script.
Communist says, hello Scorp.
Hello there. How are you? What's going on?
Pyro Communist says, sick in bed.
That sucks ass. Did it just happen to you?
Just Call Makor says, Henry has a kid and Asta killed someone who was trying to kill Harry because Harry didn't do what Harry was supposed to do before Harry became Harry. Just Call Makor says, Harry.
Harry! Wow, you're moving along on that pretty quick there, Dad. Did. You maybe have like 5 episodes left until you're caught up. Why does pizza have to be so greasy? Henry.
Just Call Makor says, I don't know, but I'll return in like 10 minutes, hoping those awful animal sounds are done by then.
The awful animal sounds. Wait, the background noise. When you don't believe a word I'm saying. What am I chomping? I'm eating a Jack's pizza. It only takes like 8 minutes to cook.
Pyro Communist says, what sort of pizza?
Pepperoni. Really, really thin crust. It's Jack's pizzas that we sell at Dollar General are really tiny thin crust. Like they only, like I said, they only take about 8 minutes in the oven at 425 degrees Fahrenheit. And the anthem is playing on the battlefield today. Hello, Riz. Nice. Hello, Riz. We may all now be seated.
Romeo India Zulu says, sup. I'm not gonna stay. Got things to do, errands to run. Just wanted to say what up.
Alright. Not much. Just doing, yo. Errands to run. A bit late in the evening, but yeah. When you gots to run them, you gots to run them. Be careful out there.
Romeo India Zulu says, Phoenix box.
Phoenix box. Yes, I remember I got mine yesterday. I needed to get it again today. I didn't get nothing out of it yesterday though. It was like just a blue or whatever it was color. Not purple or ultra purple or purple, whatever. What is it called? What the hell? You got epic, ultra, rare-ish, then rare, then blue is rare. I don't know what to call that. I forget what it's called.
Romeo India Zulu says, I think I'll do the dilly for Phoenix before I go for Zen. I need upgrade tokens.
All 3 silos are under Allied control. Excellent work.
Yeah, with 40,000 the lithium a pop for 10, it's not really that bad still, you know, even though they nerfed it down a little bit, it's still worth it, in my opinion.
Romeo India Zulu says, epic, ultra, rare, and they did away with common.
Yeah.
Romeo India Zulu says, if they have very.
Well, I know there's like, how many colors are there? I forget. Because I know, like, okay. One is like the Ultra, right? Is like purple.
Romeo India Zulu says, blue is now the lowest. That's about all I know.
Yeah. I just don't know what it's called. Because, like, it's like epic, which is gold. Ultra, whatever, it's like, it's purple, but it's super purple. And then you have purple, and then you have blue. There's 4, If I'm remembering correctly, I don't understand why I don't remember. Yeah. We can't go on together with suspicious
Romeo India Zulu
minds.
says, so the light purple would be the very rare?
Maybe, yeah. That might be the very one then. So yeah, that makes sense. Epic, ultra rare, very rare, and just rare. Dude, that's what I was trying to figure out in my head. I just always forget the name of shit. I'm very forgetful. I'm also getting sucky on the register now. Getting overwhelmed with just shit that keeps piling up on my ass. Cool shoes. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray.
Romeo India Zulu says, anyways, I'm about done with my smoke, so I shall depart.
Alright,
Have
dude.
a good one. Chances are I will take a few days off Twitch, except for the cryptic stream. So I'll meet up with you later this week.
Okay. I mean, you don't have to be obligated to be on, like, chat with me every single night, you know. It's just whenever you disappear, it gets me worried, you know, like. But I don't know why, I'm just retarded. But yeah, take time off.
Back to your
Do
station.
stuff.
The bots have returned.
I'll always be around. Enjoy your time away from Twitch.
Romeo India Zulu says, which is why I let you know this time.
Like the worrisome mother. I appreciate that, dude. Well, you take care, man.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Alright. We are going to do this again. Oh, tomorrow is like the last day until I get that ship that I'm not going to use and throw it away. And then we can get the lithium. Just call me Core. Said he's gonna be back in 10 minutes when the animal noises are done. Guess he means me eating. I'm sorry, I don't mean to eat online. I'll try my best to eat as loud as I can. Somebody poked their head out. Look at that. Yeah. Damn. Load up already. Shit. There we go. Lulu says, let's get this party started, yeah.
The Terrans will be here soon.
Instead of sleeping like I should have last morning, I watched a movie called Vesper. That's it. That's all I did. Kobe Oshimaru.
Here they come. All ships, battle stations.
A welcoming committee. You should. We're just here for your data. Hand it over and nobody will get hurt.
That. All ships, engage the Terran fleet.
Tearing up that ass. 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 That ass.
Enterprise.
That
Take
ass.
some ships and take her down. The rest
Da 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 ass.
picking up more
Pyro Communist says, I know have a plastic ball next to me face underscore with underscore thermometer.
You have a plastic bowl next to you for vomiting?
projectors as best you can.
Yeah, it sucks, dude.
Need to clear out the ships in Jupiter.
You have like a fever just happened all of a sudden?
Just Call McCower says, okay.
Kaboom! Okay.
Need to get those rifts under control.
Is it COVID?
Just Call McCower says, I don't vomit.
You don't vomit. Why don't you vomit?
Pyro Communist says, in case it happens I do throw up. I have had a few close calls.
A few close calls. One good thing about you know, vomiting and stuff, at least your body releases some
You need to get those rifts
I think it's some endorphins or whatever to cause euphoria.
Pyro Communist says, a bad head cold.
Mm. And that makes you kind of feel good, you know, after a vomiting.
Just Call McCower says, I don't know.
need to clear out
I
the
have
ships
not
in
done so
Jupiter
in something like 15 years.
Well, I've done it within the past 6 months, and I never have, like, hardly ever vomited. But mine was mostly due to, like, a blockage of, in the intestines, you know, and couldn't crap or whatever. And so the liver naturally produces more bile to help out with that problem, and it does not go down correctly, so it got to go somewhere. I gag every day now because of my sinus drainage. Because of all the mucus and shit.
rifts under control.
Bad head cold. Well, what's your temperature then today, Pyro Communist? What your temperature is?
Pyro Communist says, no idea. Just Call McCower says, mine is 98.6.
You're lucky. Mine's never 98.6. I'm usually like a 70, not 70, fuck. 97.3-ish is my average. 97.6, around those parks. I'm a degree colder than a lot of people. Guess that's why I'm nocturnal. I require sunlight that I don't want, and I stay away from the sun. Sun hurt. Sun no good. Me don't like you, son. Every time I go out into the sun, I sneeze. Every time I go outside, I sneeze. Hell, thinking about it right now, I just want to sneeze.
They're breaching our system.
Pyro Communist says, you a vampire or something.
Probably. The sun is too bright every day,
Now they're ours for good.
and my skin feels like it's on fire sometimes whenever I'm around it.
Ugh. I thought our Janeway was in
But I do take medication for like stuff, and I don't know if it interacts and makes it. I think it's the metoprolol for blood pressure. Causes a sensitivity to sunlight kind of situation, but not a huge one to where you're boiling or anything like that. But you know,
Don't even try.
so I avoid this. I've always avoided the sun, though. You know, just stayed out of it because it's just too damn bright and hot.
The Enterprise is going for projector out.
I prefer nights, being awake during them. Sun goes down, I go to sleep kind of situation.
Take them out first.
So yeah, I guess vampire. Even though blood-sucking vampires do not exist, people that can actually drain energy from you by lifestyle or whatever do exist, so technically they are vampires. You know, like, say you enter a room and someone's in a foul mood, you can kind of sense it, feel it, and they kind of draw the energy out of you, too. I mean, that's a thing. I do believe in that. That is that happens. Yes.
Back in a bit. Don't go anywhere, okay? Well done.
Weldon, is that you, boy? All right, I'm not gonna get fleet credits this time because I've been trying to remember to get actual credits to do stuff. Let's see. Iconic. Oh, 2 days, and that'll be tier 5. Nice. Temporal. I need to get temporal. So temporal marks right there. That'll feed into it a few more days. Let me see about that. Whoops. Temporals 227, so 30 a day. That's like 6 days. Six to about 6 to 7 days more. Times that plus 30 plus times 5. Okay, 35 more, so 65. Something like that. So that's not too bad. All right. Math. Math fail me. I fail math. I mean, I do have like yeah, I could suck on my own blood and not vomit. I mean, there's that. Definitely taste stuff in blood. I mean, I do have a split tongue. It's not like split in half where one half does something and one does the other. It's like just in the center of my tongue is like a valley kind of thing where it's, you know, it goes down. It's kind of like it's been cut, but just barely together kind of thing. I don't know. So yeah, I guess I'm like the devil or some shit. I don't know. Did I see it right that they have Interview with a Vampire as a TV series now? Or did I imagine that for some reason? I want to say. And it doesn't look like it may be any good. From what I've just read. That's long. I mean, I read about something. Who mentioned that? Somebody mentioned it.
Just Call Makora says, yes they do.
And it doesn't look like any kind of vampire thing I've ever seen. I mean, I just saw like not a trailer, but like an image of it.
Just Call Makora says, and it has all the gay stuff in it because the movie doesn't have the gay stuff.
Oh. So they put the gay stuff. So maybe it was you that mentioned that the other day in here. And that's how I know about it. And then I went and like looked around and just saw like an image of the artwork for the show, which is, you know, just two black dudes standing
Just
there.
Call Makora says, it was not me.
It's not you? Why snot? Why snot was it not you?
This is some bullshit.
This is some bullshit. I need to find the other episodes when Henry says bullshit. It's funny when he says bullshit. Because that one came from the last episode of season 1, whenever the kid was stowed away on his ship, and he turns around and goes, "This is some bullshit." Love how he's humanized. This is some bullshit. Like Resident Alien. So, Core, you've gotten pretty far in watching the show in this short time. Then again,
Just Call McCower
there weren't that
says,
many episodes.
David Blaine is doing a show called Beyond Belief with David Blaine.
Oh, what has he done now? Has he trained himself how not to swallow frogs? Because he does that for real. He just has it figured out. And he's not like a magician. He's like a manipulative artist. He actually does a lot of his stuff for real. You know. It's almost like the guy that like nails or hammers a nail into his head kind of situation because he goes to the sinus cavity. And after a time you do that, your body kind of gets used to that shit. Or people that swallow swords, you know, they line up just right so that it actually goes down, and they have to like relax everything in their throat to make sure that they don't like have to gulp and all that. And well, I guess it's not a sharp sword.
Just Call McCower says, it doesn't have Jonathan Frakes in it, so I don't care about the show at all.
Jonathan Frakes ask you questions. Beyond belief. Oh, so is it going to be that kind of Beyond Belief? Where he'll just host it or whatever, like Jonathan Frakes did? Frakes. I don't want to call him Franks the whole damn time he was in Star Trek. The Riker maneuver. They need to have the Riker maneuver
Just Call
on
McCower
here
says,
as an animation.
No, it is just a show with the same name, but he does magic stuff.
That bastard. He stole the name. Beyond Belief Fact or Fiction used to be a pretty damn good show.
Just Call McCower says, because Franks sounds correct and Frakes doesn't. I did the same thing when I was younger.
I never like paid attention to the spelling of his name for some reason. But every time that I hear people say it, it sounded like there's an N in it. Jonathan Frakes. Frakes? Is it just Frakes then? Frakes? It just kind of has that N sound in it. Jonathan Frakes. Well, I guess if you take the R off of it, it's Rakes.
Just Call McCower says, Mandela effect.
Mandela effect for damn real sheer fuck. That's right, damn it. I was telling a customer just the other day, because they kind of like conspiracy shit or whatever. And I said, well, you know, the CERN Hadron Collider's started back up again. They go, what? And I said, yeah, it started back up again. And they goes, what particles? What? Like a hadron collider? What's that? And I said, you've never heard of the CERN Hadron Collider that's over in Switzerland? And they said, no. And I said, yeah, it's like 17 miles in a big circle. And he asked me what they did there, and I was talking about, like, you know, they take particle here or there, and they smash them together and create micro singularities and all sorts of bullshit to study shit or whatever like that, you know. And he says, oh, wow. And I said, yeah, the first year that they started it up, because it's only ran for almost like a year or so, because they shut it down for maintenance. And I said the year after they started it up is when everyone started noticing the Mandela effect shit. And he goes, wow, I got to go look that up. That and the vortex that was seen above it, too, apparently. What if there's something real to that shit? And the picture they had of the guy that was standing next to the part of the machine itself looked just like Gordon from Half-Life. And that dude in the suit. And they're thinking, oh, shit, it's real. I thought that was funny as hell. Wriggle versus Wiggle. Throughout my whole life, up until the time when I started watching Bear Grylls' Wild Man vs. Wild thing or whatever, I never heard the word wriggle before. And whenever Bear Grylls was like down on his stomach and he was moving back and forth, he says, we're gonna wriggle here and try. And I was thinking maybe that's just a British pronunciation for wiggle. Turns out it's a real word by itself, and it means almost exactly the same thing. I was like, damn it, what the fuck? So that's why it's titled today, Wriggle versus or Wiggle. Wiggle or Wriggle? Who knows? It's very odd. Almost as odd as not pronouncing certain vowels and having silences in the English language and shit we don't pronounce. Isn't that crazy? Why the hell have it in there if you're not going to pronounce the shit? Or why do some countries pronounce it, some don't? Like, for instance, over here in America, we're going to do the Australian thing, put an R at the end of it. We say, like, for the word herb, which we, it's spelled H, not H, but H, because we say H here, ERB, and we leave off the H as a silent letter. But in other countries like England and Australia and stuff, they say herb with the H sound. And whenever they pronounce an H by itself, it's H with an extra to it. H. It's really interesting how language has changed that much in such a short time. I just want to know where the hell Southern came from, damn it. We got more intelligence over there. Over. I was reading something recently on some website about, is the English language just a speech impediment? Because it's like whenever kids, like even here in America or whatever, whenever they are small and stuff and are just coming up, they can't pronounce all their letters correctly, so they sound kind of British in a way. Like they don't pronounce their R's correctly. They're like, instead of like right, they go white they'll, and it's a little impediment until they figure out how to actually say it. Well, I got to looking it up, and like apparently somewhere back in the day, over in England land, something about some ruler that actually had a speech impediment, so everybody would mock him, and after having mocked him, other people would actually start speaking that way, and that became like the Cockney accent that's part of the British culture or something. I don't know if it's true or not, because I'm in America, so I'm stupid, right? I don't know anything about the rest of the world, just my own little tri-star area, we call it. The few states that are around you. But I just wondered if there's any kind of truth to that. Like, what if, like back when, the English language in itself is this big tricky mixture of puzzle pieces anyway, from a combination of other languages that have mixed together and pronunciations. And because if you look into the way the Old English was...
Bow down before the almighty bunghole. Coabastanda laboratoria. No! I am Cornholio. I need TB for my bunghole.
Put your hands behind your back.
Are you threatening me?
Stop resisting.
Throw the book at him, Thirth. Take him to jail. He's a weirdo and no one likes him anyway.
You must release the almighty bunghole. You will not hurt the mighty bunghole. I will resist.
Stay
Don't
with
hurt
his
me.
hands to the point. Stop spitting.
You must release me now.
No bite.
You will not restrain the almighty bunghole.
Hello, Sammy Wright. There is no delete. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, like back in the day, way back when the English language was barely understandable.
Sam Wraith says, LOL hi.
Understandable by us. Like Italian, you have an E sound there. But some people say Italian, which is not correct. It's
Sam
Italian.
Wraith says, at just call Mako or never.
So, like back in the day, I was even told this by when my sister was dating a guy that he studied linguistics and actually taught like English language and whatnot in school and in like colleges and stuff. I don't know how though. I don't know if he was a professor but I guess you can be a professor at any age these days. But he said that there was no such thing as I back then. It was everything with an I in it was pronounced with the E sound. So when
Sam
we say
Wraith says,
either,
beat Billy Mays while just call Mako or watches.
so when we say either, for those of us who say either, the word either is a created version of that would not have existed way back when, because the I sound, or the letter I, made an E sound. Even though, like, the alphabet, I was some sort of video I watched where it was like someone would keep talking, and every other second or so it would change into what it used to be back in the day. So it would be like, instead of A-E-I-O-U, it would be A-E-E-O-U or whatever. The I would still have an E sound. But it evolved over time to change to what it is now. It's very interesting, though. And I got to talking to somebody like in when I was at work the other day about the literacy fund that Dollar General has is directed towards speaking English. It's because it says learn English, read better, or whatever. And above that is a pamphlet that's in Spanish. And I was like, that's kind of a weird thing to have just there, you know. So then I got to thinking, right? If over here in America, when if you're in the South area of the United States, like, you know, closer to Mexico or whatever, the schools will mostly teach you Spanish or give you the choice of French or Spanish, because it's French Canadian type French speaking in the southern part of, say, Louisiana, New Orleans area.
Just Call McCower says, I went into Dollar General yesterday and took a shit in their bathroom.
Was it a clean bathroom? Did you have to borrow a key? Did you feel like you were in the one I worked at? Did you say, nice stalls? Not, because there are no stalls in Dollar General. But I got to thinking, right? Like, okay,
Just
so...
Call McCower says, there was a key in the door already and the light was broken, so I don't know if it was clean or not.
The light was broken? What the fuck? Was it halfway lit up in there, or did you have to sit in the dark? I've taken a shit in the dark. It didn't bother me none at all. It's kind of comforting, actually, if you think about it. But if you're close to Mexico, or if you're close to Canada, depending on where you are, and they have like a foreign language.
Dollar General's walls looked rough at the one I went to.
Well, yeah, it depends on
Just Call
which
McCower
one.
says, I had to sit in the dark. The light came on for like 2 seconds and cut off. No cutting back on.
Ah. They need to put in for a work order, though, to fix that. Because that's an auto-sensing light, supposed to be. Motion detecting. It's an auto switch or whatever. Unless the switch was turned off and then back on and it just hadn't caught back up with itself. Ooh, that's about to go off. Let me go over here. But I was thinking, like, okay, if you have to learn Spanish, if you have to learn French or something like that, do the other countries, like say if they're in Mexico, do they have to learn English if they're in school? Like, is that one of the classes? Because we have, in America, English class, and mostly in the South area, it's Spanish that you learn. So if you're down there, do you just take Spanish class as your normal class, and then English is a foreign language, or what? I don't really know. It's a valid question for myself. Same goes with up there. Do they have, say in France, would they have English class in France? For like speaking English, and French class is like, because since we call the class in America English, like English 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, do they have their version,
Samurai
like Spanish
says,
1, Spanish 2?
If they make Spanish the primary language, we're all screwed.
Hell yeah, we are. I know one word all the time, el baño, and that's what matters, because that means bathroom.
Just Call McCower says, there are some countries that have English as a mandatory second language, but not all do that.
Yeah, I know that some of them do something like that, but I was just wondering, like, since we have English 1, English 2, or whatever in high school, in other countries, do they have, like, German 1, German 2, Spanish 1, Spanish 2, Italian 1, 2, something like that? I mean, is it only just an American type thing, or, if they're in some sort of a schooling system? And then there's their foreign language, like, that. But yeah, I'm confused. That's me not knowing and understanding the world, I guess. I need to talk to somebody from from there. Oh, I need to talk to Harry again. I ain't seen Harry in a damn long time. Harry Turner. Moya's Maniac from Farscape's chat.
All I see is like nighttime or something.
Let's point it at the sun.
Yeah, cool. Maybe we'll see some fire. Just have a look here. See what we can see.
I put the, I went to that video of the other Beavis and Butthead stuff you
Just
sent
Call
me.
McCower says, Harry has a baby and there are aliens on Earth that want to take it over.
Harry has a baby. Yes, there are other
Samurai
aliens.
says, don't point Just Call McCower at the sun lol.
But I made sound clips from the original series of Beavis from that YouTube video Samurai Wraith I did. So they're in the mix now too somewhere.
All 3 silos
Samurai
are under
says,
Allied control.
yeah, did you look at the
Excellent work.
VID I sent you, Akerp?
Akerp, how you doing, Akerp? You doing alright, Akerp? What up, Akerp?
Samurai says, Scorp dang it Google lol.
Dang you, Google, you fucker. You fucker. Hey there, little fucker. But yeah, there I clipped a few of different versions of stuff or whatever, and there's a few more now.
Just Call McCower says, I'll dang your lol.
Oh dang your LOL. What are you blaming Google for? Dang it, Google. Motherfucker. Oh, it's Google Correct, so you must be using Google. Okay. So it's auto-correcting. What is an A-Corp? If it's auto-correcting it to an A-C-O-R-P, what is an A-Corp? Hell, dang your LOL, you dang it. So yeah, now the Beavis and Butthead command should have a hell of a lot more sounds with it. Because I just made them and then drug them off into the folder.
says, that's what I was saying to Just Call McCower, it's wanting to call you a acorn lol.
Acorn! Bye, how you doing there, Acorn? You doing alright there, Acorn? Sammy Joe Acorn. Proud to represent you in this narrow down right yonder here and that there over there. Well, the folks round here. Gary Busey. It's just Gary V. Or no, it's Busey V. Or in Busey. How am I doing today, Gary Busey? You're doing great. Good. Well, I'll keep it up. That sounds just like him in that thing. I swear. Asswar. Boy! I say, son. I say, boy. I say. The Voth are capturing.
Just Call McCower says, I guess someone got mad and left forever because they have not told me how much they wanted me to die in a couple days.
Well, that happens. Had a person that watched every single day. They had a good time. They worked in like a facility watching people that needed special attention, and that person in Arcana Loaf got into a discussion over some sort of thing. I can't remember what it was. I think it was the rules of Dungeons and Dragons or something, and they got into a little disagreement, scuffly thing or whatever, and that dude has never been back since. When he used to be only like for a solid
Sam
month.
Wraith says, "Busse Wivesn't here."
Well, you got to think of how his name is spelt. How do you spell Busey?
How am I doing today, Gary Busey? You're doing great. Good. Then I'll keep it up.
There you go. There you go. You're not going to find it in the commands list because Well, you might
Samu
find
Wraith
that
says, oh, I thought it was 2S.
You'll find that one, but the video one you won't find because I think I have it as a separate clip. Which I guess I could probably move it to having its own now or something.
How am I doing today, Gary Busey? You're doing great. Good. Then I'll keep it up.
Sounds just like him. I wish I could figure out, like, if it is him or not. Because Gary Busey would totally just go off and just decide to do something like that. That dude's a goofy son of a bitch. Apparently before he had his accident, he was goofy, but now he's off the rail goofy. He's got his Buseyisms. If you've ever, like, watched I'm with Busey, or the man just, like, in a regular interview, or just fans asking questions about things, he rattles on for, like, hours about, like, meaning of some shit that doesn't matter. And that motorcycle accident really screwed him up.
We now return to the Scooby-Doo murder files.
Gee whiz, gang. Looks like the killer gutted the victim, strangled him with his own intestines, and then dumped the body in the river.
Jinkies, what a mystery.
You're right, Scoob. We're dealing with one sick son of a bitch.
Sick son of a bitch. Boobies indeed. Boobies. Well, the folks round here.
Samu Wraith says, no playing with Gary's boobies core.
No Gary boobies. I'm with boobies. Let's see.
Jesus Christ, we get it.
Oh, look like those. Oh my god, did I not get the right damn place? Where's it at? The park. Son of a bat. Ice, ice, baby. Well, folks, round here. Son of a bitch. Okay, damn it. Where the fuck is somebody that's keeping this thing from me? Okay. Did I make a command for that? I did not. I want to do that real quick. Because I know that I added that.
Samu Wraith says, and no Riz tonight.
Nope, he's doing errands. He's going to take a few days off from Twitch. Dude, I totally got that. I did. Oh, I didn't put it in there, though, did I? Damn it, I'm fucking retarded. Okay. New folder, SOB, for son of a bitch. And I'm going to put that in there. That'll start off as a brand new sound. I'll go here into my scripts. Go into my sound commands to the database. And add a new database file.
Bullshit.
Bullshit, godfucker. Name this one SOB. And tell it to look into the folder SOB. And play the sound at 100%. Okay. That should be a sound now. Boom. That's how much easier I've made this on myself. Alright. Let's go to the park.
Son of a bitch!
It's the only one I have so far. It's from Resident Alien.
Samu Wraith says, all we need is
Boobies.
Boobies.
Just Call Makor says, Resident Alien is so weird.
Resident Alien is awesome.
Just Call Makor says, like all the B plots are just weird as hell sometime.
The B plots. Is that the people of the town you're talking about? The mayor and all
Just
those.
Call Makor says, like all the sex stuff between the mayor and his wife.
Yes. It doesn't make any sense, but that's, yeah. So what episode are you actually at? So that I know what not to talk about. Like I can remember what each one does anyway.
I would hate for my bunghole to get polio.
Just Call Makor says, Asta murdered a man and that is where I left off. I have not seen the fallout of Asta murdering a man.
Ah, she shot the guy, yes. And her friend saw her shoot the guy and was there.
How am I doing today, Gary Busey? You're doing great. Good. Then I'll keep it up.
Because they were looking for the alien baby. The alien baby. The alien baby who is whatever his name is. Goliath's baby.
Just Call Makor says, Goliath is dead.
Goliath is dead. Yes, yes.
Just Call Makor says, he died standing up.
He sure did.
This is some bullshit.
I need to find some more bullshits out there. I need to get Neo from the Matrix bullshit. Now that one would be funny as hell. I've got that on my computer with Agent Smith and everything, still from MIRC days. They just merged my whole MIRC sounds folder in this damn thing. Could you imagine that at random? But it only plays MP3s on here versus MIRC.
Just Call
was
Makor
Wave.
says, Neo saying bullshit isn't funny at all.
You don't like Neo saying bullshit? Because he says bullshit, then it echoes with all the TVs saying bullshit too. He goes, bullshit, bullshit, shit, 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 shit. Bullshit, bullshit. 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 Is it funnier with Penn Jillette saying bullshit? I wanted to get a few more of him saying bullshit.
Samu Wraith says, just give Neo saying I give you the finger, you give me my phone call.
I give you the finger, you give me my phone call.
Arcano Loth says, if you had to pick, Penn Jillette is a good pick.
Penn Jillette's awesome. He used to have like a YouTube channel you can like watch, whatever. I don't think it's out there anymore. pinpoint, I think it was, or something.
Arcanoloth says, what's the YT clip that sounds like bullskit?
Bullskit.
Samuraith says, Walken says bullshit.
Walken says bullshit? I don't doubt that a bit. Christopher Walken is apparently a good damn actor that can, like, dance and shit. He's in that video that somebody, what is that damn video? Where he's, like, in a suit and he's, like, dancing all over the damn place. It's just so awkward. Should really watch, what is it? Kevin Pollak's, interpretations, impersonations, and talk about Walken. It's so interesting. Hi! Cement. Wow. I remember watching some of the behind the scenes of Smallville back in the day. And even, I think it was a commentary that I watched because I love to like watch the show and the commentaries.
Says, what's another good BS line?
And Michael Rosenbaum was always talking about how he got Tom Welling into Christopher Walken because Tom Welling didn't know much about Christopher Walken other than he was an actor. But Michael Rosenbaum would do his Walken impersonation on set, reading the lines and stuff whenever they would try to actually film the show, because he'd be goofing off all the time, so it would cause production to slow down. But to this day, even whenever you watch like Talkville that they have now with Tom Welling and Michael Rosenbaum watching episodes and talking about like the episodes. Tom Welling will try to do his Christopher Walken, and no one will like catch on because you can hear him go, "Oh wow, that's amazing," and then Michael Rosenbaum, of course, will go, "It's astounding, it's really awesome that you have me here," They'll start like busting off on that instead of talking about the show and shit. It's fun to watch. They had John Schneider on as a guest
Samuraith says,
the other day.
No Walken commands.
There's Cowbell. That's about it for now. I mean, I don't really have like much on Christopher Walken other than the Cowbell skit from Saturday Night Live.
Samuraith says, we need more.
Find me more and we got more.
I gotta have more cowbell.
Yeah, that one has like I think three sounds associated with it, so it's supposed to say something different every time, but but it's all about the cowbell. It's not like Chris Farley and the van down by the river. You're not gonna mount to jack squat when you're living in a van down by the river. Down by the river.
Is this Nicaragua? I will take this land for my bunghole.
Samuraith says, okay, I'll have to do some YouTubing.
Tubing, dude. I mean, I could like look them up myself and stuff, but
Samuraith says, LOL Nicaragua haha.
Nicaragua? Yeah, I went off and
Samuraith says, what about Titicaca?
It could be on there somewhere. Derb! I thought I had that off. Let's see. Then she died down low. Soon as the boat had the water, the welder smelled that left and caught her. Hand to the side, harpooned and fought her when she dived down low. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day as the tanning is done, we'll take our leave and go.
Samuraith says, no Chewbacca Scorp.
No Chewbacca? Chewbacca? Haha, that person that just did some damage. They left the Rex, and the person could not keep it going, so the Rex reset, therefore resetting their damage done to the Rex, so they will get nothing.
Just Call Makor says, I can do Chewbacca.
Chewy Tobacco. His name's Chewy Tobacco. Fire. That's right, shoot him in the ass. Shoot him in the ass. Who left all these tribbles laying around here? They're getting stepped on. God, why do people fire off tribbles? They don't do a damn thing.
Just Call Makor says, show me the money. Show me the money. Money, 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 bling, bling, y'all.
Mow me the shunny.
Samu Wraith says, Chewy Tobacco next to Mr. Snot.
Chewy Tobacco. Pizza the Hut, he ate himself to death. Yeah. Okay, you know, that whole thing with the dinosaur knocking you down and eating all over you and stuff, it would be more satisfying if the animation actually would play through correctly. But they don't worry about that shit. Why worry about perfecting a game you have? Just keep adding bullshit to it.
Samu Wraith says, that's probably how he died, Pizza the Hut.
He ate himself to death. Use the Schwartz. My Schwartz is just as big as yours. Lone Star. Yay, I did it.
Silos are under Allied control. Excellent work.
I did it all with the help of someone else, by myself. By myself. Don't wanna be all by myself.
Samu Wraith says, Scorp our sensors, it's been jammed.
Strawberry.
Samu Wraith says, the raspberry.
Are you threatening me?
Raspberry. I have space balls on here somewhere. Get that out of the damn way. Let's see there. Go into here. One of the things that's really bothers me about, like, when I used to have MIRC installed on my computer, you know, it would put it in like program files or whatever, you know, but then it came to the part where they changed that up, so now it goes into like
Samu
roaming.
Says, I am having trouble with the radar, sir.
Let's see. Let's see. Spaceball sounds. Radar, hyperactive, jammed. There it is. These are in my MIRC folder sounds.
Shit!
Sir,
What is it?
can I talk to you, please, sir?
Well,
I don't do that, sir.
you don't need that, Private. We're
Samu
right
Wraith
here. Now,
says,
what is it?
that guy's amazing, all that's with his mouth.
Now, what is it? I'm having trouble with the radar, sir.
What's wrong with it?
I've lost the bleeps, I've lost the sweeps, and I've lost the creeps.
The what? The what? And the what?
You know, the bleeps, the sweeps, and the creeps.
That's not all he's lost.
Sir, the radar, sir. It appears to be
Jammed! Jammed. Raspberry.
There's only one man who would dare give me the raspberry.
Lone Star!
Samu Wraith says, the guy who played Darth Helmet, he had to restrain himself from laughing that scene.
Yeah. Michael Winslow is the guy that does the sound effects. He was in Police Academy. I just like it, like in Police Academy, he's like doing this helicopter sound. He stops, looks at Mahoney, says, "Want a lift?" He goes, "No, I'll take the next one." Yeah, he's pretty awesome, that guy. Sound effects and shit. I don't think he's been in much since like the early 90s or whatever. If he's even still alive, he probably isn't. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So what I need to do is just convert all of my IRC sound folders over. But they're all in WAV format, like an old Windows
Samu Wraith says, me, it was when Mahoney met Jones the machine gun the police station, everyone ducks.
Yeah. I love that shit. I haven't watched Police Academy in years.
You are a bunghole. And so am I. There will be more bungholes after me.
Damn it.
Just Call Makor says, he is still alive and he does a lot of voiceover work for video games and animated shows, but he doesn't do voices but sounds.
Ah. So he hasn't actually like acted in anything then for a while. Attack, mister. You're going the wrong way.
Samu Wraith says, more bungholes after score, haha.
More bunghole. Bungholio. Bungholiosis of the liver. Tuna fish, tuna fish.
All 3 silos are under Allied control. Excellent work.
Barely shot the damn thing. Got 5,352 dilithium ore. You can attack 2 of those things, shooting them through the whole damn match and get 3,000. How is that fucking possible? I don't know.
Careful, you idiot! I said across her nose, not up it!
Sorry, sir. Doing my best.
Who made that man a gunner?
I did, sir. He's my cousin.
Who is he?
He's an asshole, sir.
I know that. What's his name?
That is his name, sir. Asshole. Major asshole.
And his cousin?
He's an asshole, too, sir. Gunner's mate, first class, Philip Asshole.
How many assholes we got on this ship, anyhow?
Yo!
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Samu Wraith says, I am
Keep
surrounded
firing,
by assholes.
Yeah, those are a bit old because they have that mono staticky sound to them.
Sir?
What?
Are we being too literal?
No, you fool. We're following orders. We were told to comb the desert, so we're combing it.
Found anything yet? Nothing yet, sir. How about you? Not a thing, sir. What about you guys? We ain't found shit.
Samuraith says, comb that desert.
They had a giant comb. That's what was so fucking. Said, are we being too literal, sir?
You hold him off. I'll get the door.
I ain't shooting this thing. I hate guns. My hair. He shot my hair.
Samuraith says, it was a big black comb.
Bitch.
Big black comb. And the guy that said that, which I didn't know at the time, I think maybe Arcanoloth at the time had told me, the dude that played Tuvok, that was the guy that said we ain't found shit. Tuvok on or Star Trek. We ain't found shit.
Indeed.
Arcanoloth says, he auditioned for LaForge, was well liked by the 90s Trek team, so they gave him Tuvok on Voyager.
Wasn't he on like one of the actual Trek movies briefly? Like the the original cast, Shatner movies. Like as just a crewman on one of the random ships or something, like on Sulu ship or whatever. I got him, Admiral.
Arcanoloth says, he was an undiscovered country on Sulu's Excelsior, and they retconned that to be Tuvok.
They retconned it, so they like cut him out of the scene, so that no one would get confused thinking that was Tuvok on Sulu's ship. I think that would have been kind of cool, though. Like if they go back and digitally alter him to look more like Tuvok. That would be kind of cool if it were possible to if it made sense in the scene. There was not being too emotional or some shit.
Arcanoloth says, they did a Voyager episode where Janeway has to mind meld with Tuvok, and in his head he is back on the Excelsior during the events of the 6th film.
Really? So I don't remember a lot of the Voyager stuff, even though I did rewatch it. I think I did one run watch of it, because back whenever it was on UPN, I barely could pick it up on my TV. Nothing but static and shit back then.
Arcanoloth says, we learn he did a stint in Starfleet but decided to leave and then went back to Starfleet later in life.
That's a da-da-da lie. Da-da-da-da-da. What do we got that comes on tonight? Is it just Game of Dragon Thrones? Dun 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 boink chunk dun dun boink chunk dun.
Arcanoloth says, game of boners.
They're not gonna time jump again, are they? It's gonna be like old granny.
Arcanoloth says,
marrying.
new Rick and Morty baby.
They call me maybe.
Arcanoloth says, Scorpion Queen is ongoing. Arcanoloth says, The Walking Dead brought to you by Mountain Dew.
I can't tell you the last time I watched damn Walking Dead. And I haven't watched this Scorpion Queen thing. What is that? It's like The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson's wife or some shit like that on.
Arcanoloth says, sorry, the Serpent Queen. Good show. Political drama.
Blah, blah, blah. Drama. Blah, blah, blah. Yakety schmackety. Political Dramamine.
Samuraith says, at Arcanoloth I was thinking what she screams Haku Mashanti.
Hakuna Matata.
Arcanoloth says, watch the first EP of The Serpent Queen, you'll know if you want to watch any more.
Oh, alright. So it's not one of those things where you have to like watch it until you kind of get interested. You'll be interested, yes or no, by the first episode. To the back of the bus. Red dick. Pepula penis.
Arcanoloth says, Hakuna Matata, what a wonderful phrase. Hakuna Matata, I could jerk off for days.
It means no worries for the rest of your days. It's a problem-free philosophy.
Arcanoloth says, it means no worries as you empty your balls.
Balls. Like a little saying we used to do back in the IRC days. P-I-M. That's a way of saying hello. Penis and mouth. Hello. P-I-M. Hurt-de-dirt. Teeter. Okay. Yeah, I watched, rather than going straight to bed, which I should have done, I got to thinking, I wonder if there's any good movies out, that's out there that I haven't seen yet. So I get online, my ways, and I saw there was a movie called Vesper, and I watched that. I have no idea what the fuck it was really about, but I think I started nodding off in the middle of it. But it got like a 6.4 out of 10 rating showing on Google, so I thought, probably, it'd be worth watching. I don't know what happened. I think I fell asleep in the middle of it. Well, the folks round here. It's some sort of movie about a future where civilization is taken like an archaic type of second generation.
Says, don't be coming round here no more.
Don't be coming around here no more. Where civilization is into the second Dark Ages, and the higher ups that are like the wealthier or whatever of everyone live in these citadels or something, and the people that are just trying to survive, that are mutated by what's happened or whatever, live in these like wetland / wasteland type areas, and food is genetically created to only, like, say if you wanted to plant a crop of something, you would not get anything from that except just the food you can eat from that particular thing, so you could not replant. And this girl's like has this hovering thing with her that's apparently connected to her dad, who's immobile, laying in a bed with his lung outside of his chest, in this little clear thing that it's breathing, and it requires power. I don't know. Her dad was like this soldier or whatever in this citadel before, and whatever, and he uses this little device to communicate with her and go out on little adventures or some shit whenever she's gathering up supplies or whatever. And then it's got dude from Ray Donovan in it. Ray Donovan, like one of the Donovan brothers, plays in it. Which he's played in a lot of other stuff, but that's just the last thing I remember him in. And she like talks to dead stuff and plants and shit. She talks to shit. She literally goes up to a pile of hello, how you doing? This she goes, I'm doing pretty good down here. You know, the Citadel ship crashes, and it's got like a survivor, and she brings the survivor to her dwelling, and something about seeds. I don't know. That's about as far as I think I got with it. I really don't know. I don't know. All I know is there's a bunch of weird looking people on there, and the girl herself, who's the main actress, she kind of looked weird too. She looked like a Cumberbatch. You know, that whole Britishy weird spread apart eye thing that they have going on over there. We're gonna run, 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 Rudolph. Santa's gonna make it to town. Go to sleep, big guy. You deserve a nap.
Just Call Makor says, I swear, if you watch The Serpent Queen before Rick and Morty, I am going to whine like a bitch.
Oh, I know you would, bud. I know you would. I'm actually surprised you haven't like been whining more about me watching Rick and Morty. Because I know how you can be with like, you need to watch this show. I'm like, yeah, okay. No, you need to watch it. And you're like 2 months later, you're still like hounding me about it over and over and over until I actually watch it. But you can't do that now. Because I really don't have time. And I don't have a real way to watch it. Even though y'all keep talking about Flex, I don't have a real way.
Arcanoloth says, he gonna whine like the lady in the homeless camp with butt stuff $5 on the outside of the tent.
$5? I love you long time, $5. Hey Joe. Hey Joe, $5.
Arcanoloth says, you know a lot of things went wrong to get into that situation.
Damn it! I think the floor's not working.
Well, the folks around here. Back in the day when I was more brave on the internet and was connected to a piece of shit internet, I could do stuff like that. But then that piece of shit internet like started actually looking into what people were using to download or whatever, and they saw that I was torrenting. So they were like, no more torrenting for you, young man. So then the internet got boring. The only thing I could find is YouTube movies, which is what I kind of do these days. If it's not on YouTube, it's not worth not watching. Or either I get on that Roku thing and I watch stuff there. But try to stick with the best way possible to do things. Free trials of this and that.
Says, haha.
Yeah. Gotta watch them torrents. What it is, I guess, is there are little bots or some shit that are in seed torrents.
Arcanoloth says, if it's not on YT it's not worth watching is like, the opposite of what is true.
They got a lot of good, like, actual real movies that are on there that are, like, you know, free with ads. And I've spent a lot of time, you know, just looking on there.
Says, everyone gets those nasty grams and then you learn. You don't torrent without a VPN.
VPN. That's better than a VPN. Yeah.
Just Call Makor says, I never torrent with a VPN.
I used to not have to worry about it.
Just Call Makor says, I just know what I am doing and don't get caught.
Well, it's true for certain things, because torrenting itself is not illegal. It's just the content in which is being torrented.
Murdoch says, sups.
Sup, Murdochs. And it just so happened that one of the things that I was torrenting, I guess a bot was sitting in there getting IP addresses and stuff like that, and reached out and got one of those DMCA type situation-y things or whatever.
Arcanoloth says, BT is a protocol. You can torrent Linux ISOs all day.
Yeah, you can file transfer. I mean, Windows uses a bit of torrenting, backpedaling for its delivery system now. You can choose to turn it off, you know, like sharing
Murdoch
or whatever.
Says, I watched a really good movie called The Survivor, then found a cool new show to watch, Pennyworth, the story of Batman's butler.
The Buttman's butler. The Buttman.
Arcanoloth says, but a lot of content being shared is copyrighted material, and all those public swarms are monitored and logged.
Yeah.
Just Call Makor
used to
says,
it wasn't like that.
Right, yeah, I have 4 TB of Linux ISOs. Yeah, that is totally what I have.
You're just a Linux fanatic. You know, you got hard drives filled up with Linux. DVDs, DVD-Rs, CDRs with Linux. Old Red Hat Linux from eBay. You're gonna want that distribution of Linux. Yeah, that has this on there instead of that. That's got a bug on that one. Yeah, you don't want that one. Yeah.
Arcanoloth says, but man, I saw some of those. You really feel the character's journey from Buttman Vol 4 to Buttman Vol 5.
Anytime you hear da-na-na-na-na-na, he's like scooting around in his ass. Da-na-na-na-na-na, Buttman. Bananas in pajamas are coming down the stairs with Buttman. But everyone's torrented before. Even if it's just like miscellaneous little tiny things or whatever. Hell, I think we actually did some like file sharing back then, like just you'd have something that you've made and just share it.
Young 16-year-old me didn't know any better and I bought a copy of SOSE Linux at a CompUSA back when those existed.
Ew, you got made, boy. You got made by a man.
Murdoch says, what's it called when you run Linux on Windows 10?
Windows? Well, you can. You can run Linux on Windows 10. Because Windows 10 has a built-in virtual machine type thing.
Arcanoloth says, SUSE was the shit. Just Call Makor says, Linux subsystems if you are being for real. Murdoch says, yes, but you have to install a VM for Linux.
Yeah. If your BIOS has the ability. Mine do not. But I have ways of running Linux anyway on my computer. Which I've got like a virtual machine
Murdoch
thing.
says,
Can't remember
that
what it's
guy
called.
that works at IBM is gonna show me some things, told me to get a VM for Linux. Murdoch says, which one is the best that's easy to use?
Well, you can do the built-in Windows one as long as you have what is it called? Damn it, fuck. You have to see if VM is activated in your Windows installation. The virtual machine thing that's built in. And if not, you can activate it. Either you have to go to BIOS to activate something if it's not activated there, then install you have the components in Windows add remove program. Well, it's not add remove programs anymore. It's if you use the actual Windows settings. You can go and install like what the fuck is it called? Shit.
Just Call Makover says, VirtualBox is free. But VMware is the best and there are ways to get a product key if you don't look too hard.
Let me try to get to a safe place and I'll look for something real quick. I like to use control panel.
Murdoch says, that would be nice.
Control, well, you can do the one where...
Just Call Makover says, VTXD?
Because it's built in. Turn Windows features on and off. I think that's what it is. I still like to use control panel. It's so much easier. Hyper-V might be what I'm thinking about. Hyper-V module. No, that's probably not it. What is it called? Fuck. Because the Samba, I have Samba installed. Virtual machine platform enables for support for virtual machines. That might need to be installed. Windows subsystems for Linux may need to be checked if you don't have that checked already. But yeah, it's the Windows features. You go through there and you look through all the stuff to see if you need to add more features and shit to Windows. Windows features stuff has actually been around Windows a hell of a long time. It may be what that is, yeah. There's something... I know that in BIOS, to make it work together to where you can co-share the Windows Linux environment on a Windows computer, you
Murdoch
can
says,
have that running.
So I have to change Windows 10 features in order to install a Linux VM.
Well, to use the one
Just Call
built
Makover
in.
says, Hypervis Lame. Just install Arch and set up kvm/qemu. Murdoch says, I'm talking about a sandbox though.
Oh, so you don't want it to interact with Windows. You want it to be like say if you had a different computer and installed Linux. You just want it like that.
Says,
okay.
Correct.
Yeah, just a basic
Just
virtual
Call
machine
Makover
would
says,
do.
Just download VirtualBox.
Yeah. I think that's what I actually use for a bunch of my bullshit.
Murdoch says, I think so that guy can send me stuff in Linux maybe?
You can still have, yeah. I have Oracle VM VirtualBox.
Murdoch
That's
says,
one I have.
or I can work projects in it.
Well, yeah, you can even you can transfer. Let's see, in what is it? In VirtualBox, I believe you can install the sharing thing where you can transfer from files from Windows to the VirtualBox back and forth. I've installed it. I have like what is it? Because it's just something I dabble with every once in a while. I don't like use it for anything really important. Unless I'm trying to get files
Murdoch
off of something.
Says, I'll do VirtualBox. Thanks.
Yeah, let's see. I have a test okay, here's all the virtual machines in the VirtualBox I have. Windows 95 CD test, another 95 test, Ubuntu server, Windows 7, Windows 3.11 for workgroup test, 3.1 test, 95 upgrade to 3.5 floppy test, MS-DOS 6.22, Debian, another Ubuntu, here's an XP and another XP Media Center. So I have all of those virtual operating systems underneath VirtualBox Manager right now, and they're all in a separate hard drive. Because I recommend, if you're going to do that, if you have a secondary hard drive, install those over there.
Murdoch says, VirtualBox is made by Oracle?
Yeah, that's the one I use, Oracle. I hadn't used it in a long time, though. You have to configure a lot of that, though. You don't want to set it to use up too much hard drive space if you don't have the space for it, which you should be okay on hard drive space. I would just recommend not, if you have the ability to put it on a secondary hard drive, like to run it from that, to save it to that. If you're going to make a what do you call it? It's not a fixed size hard drive, but like a variable one where everything you add to, say, Linux, if you transfer files to it, it'll use a little bit more drive space instead of having a fixed amount. But if you have plenty of drive space, you can do that.
Arcanoloth says, I do not suggest installing OSes to hard drives in 2022.
Installing OSs to hard drives? Not even like Windows? I mean, it's virtual, so it's not really you're not really installing it. But you can actually transfer it from there and make it a real physical machine, though, later, if you wanted to do that. I know I've ran across some software that's supposed to do that. That's just dabbling, though. I never really took it too seriously. Because I've wanted to use the built-in Windows version. That, the cohabitation of Linux and Windows together.
Says, I have two M.21 TB, but one has my OS and is half full and the other is totally full of games. I have an empty 2 TB spinner, but not sure if I want to use that.
Well, I don't like, okay, let's see.
Arcanoloth says, Arcanoloth says, solid state is cheap.
Virtual machine properties. Yeah, it's only taking up 31.2 gigabytes for all of my little test versions of stuff. The last one I installed was an Ubuntu server because I don't remember what the hell I was doing with that. I mean, it's using 5.54 gigs of just sitting there doing nothing. Because I gave it, I think a 6 gig hard drive for a test. But I would test it first, like just using, not using your actual hard drive, because you'll create it. It'll be a file sitting on your primary drive, just sitting there, if you're not using it, and you'll wonder why the hell this file taking up so much damn space. It'll be like virtual hard drive. So, but I've always been like that though. I keep my operating system and programs installed or whatever on the hard drive that I'm using for the OS, versus storage I put on something else, like the
Samuraith says,
video
gotta
stuff.
love when the freight's over an hour and a half late. Scorp, you probably seen that.
Oh hell yeah. This week at our store,
Murdoch says,
our truck came 2 days early.
It's the fact my Mobo has 2 PCI slots for M.2 and the other one isn't, so that what I got, why I bumped them up to 1 TB.
Yeah. But I've always kind of like been like that, where I'll keep, like, since I had a gaming drive before it crashed, it was a hard disk drive, so it spun. And
Murdoch says, so it's okay if I install the VM to my M.2 with the OS on it?
Yeah, I mean, it just creates a virtual file, like an independent file. It doesn't have like files that go into a folder or anything like that. It makes its own little virtual hard drive. Like, it uses one file with a special name, and it is your hard drive. And it can be copied back and forth.
How to say this as succinctly as possible: if you know what the difference is between a hard drive and a solid-state drive, you are capable of making enough money that the money saved not buying an SSD is a waste of your valuable time. Murdoch says, is VirtualBox 6.1 the latest version?
I have no idea. It's been a while.
Yeah, the dairy truck was marked for 11/1045 and then 11/10. Now it's almost TWRLVE. Samuraith says, 12.
VDI, I think is what it's called. Virtual disk image. Yep, VDI. .VDI file. So it'll just make a file. Well, yeah, like I was saying though, back when I had, before I started putting SSDs in my drive, in my computer, I only had hard drives, hard disk drives, you know, spinning drives, all that kind of shit. And I had my games on one of them. I had like software that I had downloaded, you know, that, you know, just programs and bullshit or whatever, that installers and things. And my main operating system with the installed files just on there. So it was, you know, I had everything separated because I just wanted to make sure that if it were accessing a file on my main hard drive, it would have to skip around versus already being on there and then having to look for another one. But I'm slowly like changed it all over to SSD, and I like it better that way. Yeah, our freight truck this week was 2 days early. We were so surprised. But our food truck, the one that has all the cold shit and
Murdoch
whatever on it,
says,
was late.
the only reason why I have a hard drive is because I had one already and I put it in the slot that wouldn't take AM.2. At the time I was thinking I would keep files in there and technically I could use it to make copies of data, but it ended up not being used. My next build will be at least 3 M.2 drives.
Cool. Yeah, definitely like doing that. I like that.
Arcanoloth says, hard drives are still useful for bulk data storage. I have a rack of them in my PC for Plex. But you don't boot OSes off them.
No. Not anymore. They're best used to not constantly be read from. Else you have the hard drive that sounds like a little ball bearing, like pinging around in there every once in a while when a drive's about to fail. Ding 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 ding. Oh man, that used to like make me go to tears when a hard drive started to fail. I'll be like, shit, I need to get a hard drive before this thing dies, and then do the copy, and then it hit that bad part of the sectoring, and the actual physical part of the drive is like starting to fail on you, and you're like, oh shit. I even tried to rescue one hard drive by changing out the MCB board, or what is it, PCM? Is it PCM or PCB board from another hard drive of the same make, but it was too late. It was actually my hard drive out of my Xbox.
Murdoch says, Scorp, I know you could do something in computers. Land a job working at home.
I am not good with computers. I already did the computer thing, and I failed at it, so yeah. Best thing for me is just to be a standard piece of shit that just has a basic job. But I only knew stuff about computers back then. I don't know the damn fucking thing about them now. They've surpassed me, so I don't know. I don't have the confidence anymore.
Murdoch says, you're so full of shit though. You have proved time and time again in this stream that you are actually...
How am I doing today,
you
Gary
might have had a
Busey?
bad experience
You're doing
then, but
great.
you obviously know a thing or
Then
two.
I'll keep it up.
I believe it's just a confidence thing.
It's that and the fact that every time that someone would have a problem and I tell them how to solve the problem and stuff, and they wouldn't do it, and they keep coming back to me because of the same issue, and they would tell me that I didn't fix this, I didn't do that, didn't do this, and I would try to tell them. And then I would not really be confident in like saying, okay, well, here's this, you know, because I was always one of those the computer guys around here.
Says, Nat, I am with you, Mr. Wanna. Trying to start a computer business is a fail.
Yes, right. Why didn't my people come with me? Oh, fucking shit, damn it. Did I not come through the portal? I could have sworn I did. I could have sworn I didn't run the fuck over here from there. I'm gonna respawn, I swear. Fucking shit. Mr. One. Mr. One. But, out of the computer people that were around here, working on them and stuff like that, and even one getting busted for
Murdoch
making
says,
copies of movies.
Fuck starting a computer business. I'm talking about doing something in networking, cybersecurity, or programming and work for a company but
Repeat.
from home.
The imposter is
Just
not to be
Comico
injured.
says, I actually tried doing just that 4 years ago. It didn't succeed at all.
I got a cake! I got a cake!
Hi, Billy
Are you on your feet all day? Hey, I'm working with you all day. I got a job. You don't need my Hey, I'm working with you all day. Hey, big guy.
You're a stain specialist.
Hey, big guy.
Shitting me?
You don't
just
need
$19.99.
You don't need all these. Hey, how you doing?
Hi,
Billy Mays here. Billy Mays here. Just $19.99. Here's how Are you on your feet all day? With you all day. Shitting me for just $19.99. Everyone. Here's how is real.
Huh? Damn it.
Just Call Makor says, stain specialist motherfuckers.
Stain specialist motherfucker. Damn, I get all the way across the map over there and I gotta turn the fuck around. Shit, every damn time.
Samu Wraith says, your own stain may be core.
I had an opportunity one time to actually go work somewhere for somebody, but I turned it down because I don't like to go anywhere. I like to stay home. I am not a travel person to go that far. I know somebody that's in cybersecurity, like severely in that shit. They won't even like reply to emails anymore. He won't even let me say his name or his username online. But damn it, I should have actually considered getting that site from him though. That he owned it and he had me like managing.
Just Call Makor says, I tried to get Mr. Wanna to drive to my house to pick up a free GDX 980, but he doesn't want to visit me. Sad face.
Yeah, I'm gonna drive to Georgia. I can barely drive to town without freaking out. Or that time that what should have only taken 45
Just
minutes took me 3
says,
hours.
It's literally right down the road from you.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. A few interstates later. No, I mean I've told people several times the story of me. What should have taken only maybe 45 minutes to get there took me 3 hours to get to a certain place. So I'm not good at traveling. I swear that
Sam
fucking
Wraith
GPS.
Says, yet Arkansas to Georgia down the road.
Yeah. It's right down the road. Over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house we go. Shit, it's the only one available. Damn it. I'm gonna have to wait. Oh, and I'm in South Arkansas. Like, less than 10 minutes away from a state line from Louisiana. So, yeah. Anybody can pinpoint where I'm at. Isn't it wild that John Schneider lives in Louisiana? I could have sworn I've seen his motorhome one time before. His wife has cancer right now. Which has nothing to do with any damn thing in the world. Oh, fuck. Yeah, the core has, he knows what my name is. What my real name is. My whole real name. Except my middle name, probably. But I kind of forget I have a middle name half the time. And I know his name.
Rickhofen_543 says, Guten Morgen, happy face. Just call Makover says, I know the names.
Hello there, Rich Hofen. Guten Morgen. Guten Tag. German? Rocker. I think I still live about maybe an hour away from the dude that told me to go die in a fire.
Arcanoloth says, shit piss cunt fuck cocksucker motherfucker and tits.
Oh yeah? Well...
You ignorant, self-serving, killjoy, nitpicking bitch! Whore. Asshole. Cunt. Bullshit.
Bullshit. I've said my name on here before though.
Just call Makover says, did that person who told you to die in a fire have a girlfriend who cheated on him while he was in college?
I don't know.
Samu Wraith says, ha ha ha, that fit.
I don't know about that because broke all contact with dude because I would still try to contact him even though his fake Facebook page is still active. Tyrone is still there.
Says, say my name, Walter White.
Tyrone still exists. If you didn't know.
Bow down before the almighty bunghole. Kuabastanda labaratoya. Masmaniparo no! I am Cornholio. I need TV for my bunghole.
Put your hands behind your back.
Are you threatening me?
Stop resisting.
Throw the book at him, Thirth. Take him to jail. He's a weirdo and no one likes him anyway.
You must release the almighty bunghole. You will not hurt the almighty bunghole. I will resist. I will resist. Stay on me. Stop. You must release me now.
Nobody.
You will not restrain the almighty bunghole.
I think I know, like, in that scene, when he's bungholing going out crazy, which is the latest episode of Beavis and Butthead, the new series they have. Well, when Butthead comes and he says, send him to jail, Butthead has one of those cans of
Samu Wraith says,
spray.
Will not restrain that bunghole.
The spray whipped cream topping or whatever, and he sprays it into his mouth. So I'm guessing that Beavis has been huffing on some cans of spray or some shit like that. So he's like high off of that shit. That's what I assume whenever I see that scene because of what Butthead has in his hand. I am the great Cornholio. I need TP for my bunghole. Bungholio.
Samu Wraith says, I looked for that scene on YouTube, the full scene scorp, it's not all there.
Nah, it just came out this past, Friday? So, if it would even
Just
be
Paul
on
McClure
there.
says, you should create a command called delete command, but it just responds with, command name has been deleted, and not actually delete anything.
I could probably do that. Or make it possible for it to be, like, deactivated or whatever, I don't know. For a short time. I don't know, it uses, I use JSON files, or a file, to hold all the sound command information. Which is, I don't know what the fuck that, Java file or some shit? But yeah. I mean, I could probably make an actual database, I mean, you know, a real one, using SQL and all that kind of shit if I wanted to. I don't know, though. Python is more difficult for SQL than, say, Perl was, or PHP for some reason. I mean, you were allowed to use certain variables and switch things around and whatnot, but in Python, you got to be, like, literal about every damn thing. It's so fucking retarded. You can't even have like a series of commands on one line. It just pisses me off. You got to have it, like, indented and all that bullshit. No brackets. Well, you can use brackets, but they don't do a damn thing anyway, so what the fuck? Then you forget that you don't need to, that you can use brackets in Perl or PHP or something like that. Never learned Ruby on Rails, though. I was always told to learn Ruby on Rails. I think Chorn wanted me to learn Ruby on Rails for some reason. Back when he offered me a jab. I was like, dude, I don't think I can come to Rochester, New York. What the fuck? You think he would warm me up with all these gifts of boxes of bullshit? No. He did send... I still have all that bullshit. Except I have it in plastic totes now instead of cardboard boxes.
Says, yeah, I'm gonna try, but I think I'm probably gonna be like, fuck this shit. I'm fine with the job I have. I guess cybersecurity would be a little different than Python. Maybe it's still good to know some Python, though.
Yeah, dude, I totally agree.
Paul McClure says, Chorn never offered me a job. Sad face.
I think he even offered...
says, the original Wing Commander crashed on quit due to an interaction with a third-party memory manager they couldn't troubleshoot, so they hextyped the M program, so the error message said Tonk you for playing Wing Commander.
Tonk you for playing Wing Commander. Murdoch's, I would, like, try to learn it just as you go kind of thing. Like, look into how to learn things and whatnot. It's good to just have that knowledge, even though I don't have the knowledge myself. Yeah, he actually, I think, even kind of offered a little job or whatever to Eric, Rocker one time. But, I don't know how that ever panned out. I guess it didn't work. He's not up there in New York. Yeah. But I would totally say yes to just
says,
doing something.
Yeah, this guy told me to use a spreadsheet and put down my monthly expenses and whatnot, and he is gonna use that to show me some code.
He told you to put down your monthly expenses? So he's going to use some code. He's going to be like, okay, how much do you make here, here, and here? And put down your account number here and your passwords and bullshit. And I'll show you how to code things. And like, okay. And then like 5 days later, you can't access your bank account because
Murdoch says, be casual, he knows I do accounting.
Oh, okay. Somebody sounded
Murdoch
like...
says, so trying to keep it in the same vein.
Roger. Well, if you wanted to learn to program...
Arcanoloth says,
you know,
tune in next month. Murdoch gets his identity stolen by Russian hackers. Just Call McCower says, best way to learn a language is to create a bot. Create a IRC bot. The documentation for the protocol exists. https://www.rfceditor.org/rfc/rfc1459.html.
Yeah, and Twitch uses IRC.
Cheeky Breaky.
Cheeky Breaky is the donkey.
I told him I would use work stuff with him, then the military would knock on his door to find the leak.
It's almost like Adventures with Murdoch. So what are we gonna do this week? Well, we're gonna go to jail. We're going to prison for a month. Then we're gonna transfer over to higher security.
Samurai
Camera
says,
crew follows him
just
around.
call Makower. He makes that command. Then I want one with Billy Mays. Here I have this product by Core Productions, NITB the ass slapper or something.
Ass slap
Samurai
5,000.
says that command.
The ass slap 5,000. Streamlabs or either what's a doodle? Stream Elements, which are both connected right now, do have the ability for moderators
Samurai
to create
says,
commands.
Just call me Core Slapper.
I forget
Samurai
what
says,
the.
How's that?
Slap me in the ass and call me Julie. But yeah, the way that I learned it was creating bots first.
Arcanoloth says, Ass Slapper 5000.
The Ass Slapper 5000. Do you need to beat your kids, but you can't do it because CSP will come after your ass? Hi, Billy Mays here for the Ass Slapper 5000. All you had to do.
Makower says, a very very long time ago I created my own IRC client inside of an IRC client scripting language for shits and giggles. Arcanoloth says, slap M right in the sack.
Those what a days. Yeah, that was the best way to learn like that language and everything was to just some idea of something you wanted to do to learn it. That's why they have like in most programming languages the Hello World script that you learn first, because it immediately outputs something right then to let you know, okay, you did this, and it makes you feel good. That's yeah, the whole bot thing was a good idea to learn something. That's like a good step in the right direction. And Twitch is IRC. I've been thinking about making a pure Python only bot and doing away with this whole Streamlabs shit, but I like Streamlabs chatbot. It's all right.
Samuraith says, or Billy Mays, you need to learn just call speak. I have this amazing product for you.
Call right now.
Samuraith says, 21.95.
21.95. Well, yeah, in today's market, it'd be like $49.95 for a $20 product.
Just Call Makower says, I wanted to learn Python with you, but you pretend you are too busy to bring back Script Busters.
Script Busters. We don't just write the scripts. We take them to the test them to something. But yeah, I'm always fucking working or sleeping. I hate that shit. But this week, I get to be off for 3 days in a row. That's pretty awesome. I'm off Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Because we got 2 people at work now. New people.
Just Call Makower says, sure you do.
It's going to have to be a thing, though. Because it's set in stone. We have a small amount of payroll toward it. One of the key holders that we have are off for 4 days this week.
Samuraith says, I mean, Just Call Makower isn't being inventive with his insinuations. I'm like, hey, push IT bro, you need to get into advertising, lol.
Oh, he can talk it into stuff, that's for sure. But they're good ideas, though. That's one of the things. We can make this happen kind of stuff. Shit. But I think Python would probably be a good introductory language to learn. I mean, even like people that don't have a full understanding of programming can learn from it easy. Healy Breaky. Cheeky Breaky. That's what Boris says.
Chili
Breaky. That's what Boris
Samuraith
says, though.
says, haha.
Yeah, if you've never watched it, Life of Boris on YouTube, check it out for reals, yo. He's a Russian guy that works in Estonia.
Just Call Makower says, I majored in business and didn't even go to college.
That's right. Dude was a district manager. A DM, yo. Damn it! I keep clicking on the same thing, thinking I'm gonna find some shit to do. And I'm always gonna be just an advanced cashier. My whole life. Till I rot in the ground. Soon, probably. Okay. Change character. But, you know, the whole bot making thing led me into web designing more. I mean, I used like basic HTML to make web pages, but and I learned it the most stupidest way using Microsoft Front Page.
Well, he'll just Makor. I went to work right after school, have invites from colleges, but hey, you need money, you do what you gotta.
Yeah, money is a thing. I mean, I was never gonna go to college. I kept telling everybody at school that shit, and they're like, "You don't know, you might go." I was like, "I know that I'm not going. What the hell? You can't talk me into going." Like, I want to go to 13th grade, you know?
Just Call Makor says, I almost bought my way into a McDonald's franchise until I ran some stores for a year and decided that owning McDonald's wasn't for me.
McDonalds. That's one of the worst things, too, is like being in the food service. That's like, if you want to be abused, work in the food service first. You know?
Samu Wraith says, I'm just garbage at Maths Corp.
I mean, I was able to do basic math and things like that. And geometry and whatnot. But I never took algebra in school. They said that I had to have it as a whatever, and I was like, I'm not taking algebra. I'm not going to need it. And they said, you don't know that. I'm thinking, yes, I do. I know what my life's going to be like. You can't tell me one way or the other. I'm going to be a piece of crap when I grow up. And they said, no, you're not. I said, you have no idea. And I proved them right, damn it.
Samu Wraith says, your first job was part-time at Sonic. Dude, I tell all people don't go fast food, you don't really want it.
No. I never had a food job, but the people that I knew were miserable. And I was like, I don't want to be miserable the rest of my life. So I took the next best step. I went to retail. And I've been in that, let's see, Family Dollar, 2008 to 2011. 2011 to still now, Dollar General. So,
Just Call
15
Makor
years?
says, education is literally pointless for most people and it sucks. Public schools train you to be worker drones. They don't actually teach you the things you need to succeed in life.
That's
Sam
right,
Wraith
yeah.
says, the stress, it sucks.
Stress does suck, yeah. That's so true about school. It's like just the basic shit. Like for instance, like when they threw me into math of money instead of algebra, since my mom had a store, like it's a bait and tackle hunting store, like a convenience type store or whatever. They said, well, you're probably going to end up owning that and need to learn how to use the register, so we're going to make this class called Math of Money. There was only like 6 of us in this class because everybody else was like in algebra, or someone needed just a few more credit, or like half a credit to graduate kind of bullshit. And there I was, like, you know, just took normal math and needed another math credit, so they just invented this bullshit
Samu
math.
Wraith says, at Just Call Makor, the thing is some of the crap like algebra and trig they teach you, and instead of the practical stuff they give you junk you'll never use.
And the bad thing is I don't remember that class at all. Why is it that I don't remember what the hell we ever did in that class? I can remember every other class that I went to in school, what we did basically every day, but I cannot fucking remember what the hell we ever did in that damn class. Why is that? And it took the class for half a year because we did block scheduling with an hour and a half for each class. So I don't know what I did in that class. I remember going to it, being in the seat, sitting there. I don't know what we studied. Why can't I remember? I remember taking driver's ed in high school, and we didn't even have a car.
Just Call Makor says, the only thing I remember about school was the time I felt up my girlfriend at the time in class in the 11th grade.
At least you had somebody, that's for damn sure. I didn't have shit. I have lusts, but I didn't have shit. I confessed love to girls, and it didn't work. I even sang like in a week or two to like one of someone in the 6th grade. Profess my love to thee. Would always go to her house and be in the same room. With her brother would say.
Yet I was in algebra 3 months, transferred back to basic math.
Yeah, like if you know that you're not going to use algebra, because I know a lot of people that I even went to school with. Everybody that went to the algebra class or whatever, like in my grade, not one damn one of them is in a job that uses algebra. They have never needed it for anything at all. And here I am, like I don't know if it programming languages is an algebra of a thing itself, but if maybe they were to teach that in school, that would be good. I mean, it is true, like the associate that I work with that just graduated high school, she said that they did have a programming class when she was in like the 9th grade, which would have been maybe 2017-ish, 18 or whatever for her. And I said, really? She says, yeah. And I said, well, so you know what like variables are, all this kind of stuff. And she's like, yeah. And she would describe to me how they did it. They would just drag something into like a thing or whatever, and it would link it together to make a programming thing. I said, well, that's not what I learned as programming. You know, I learned Notepad. You know, you get the basic Notepad and you research what like
Samu Wraith says,
this is.
That's why it baffles me. Teach practicality, not things for hypothetical jobs nobody gets into.
Right? Yeah. Keep teaching basic math and like don't change the shit. You know, like they have now. They have that Common Core math shit. I mean, whatever happened to 2 + 2 equaling 4? Like that equals 4. Well, show me how you did that. Like, are you serious? What do I need to like go get some rocks and some sticks or some shit? What do you need, a diagram here? What the fuck? Let me go to the store and get a poster board and write it all out for you in a graph or whatever the fuck you. You know.
Just Call Makor says, my senior year was awesome because we had block scheduling across 2 days and transferred schools in the 10th grade and had too many credits and no ambition to go to college. So I went to one class and went home and had the second day off. Sometimes I'd go to school either 2 or 3 days for an hour and a half.
Oh wow.
Dalek_Kurland says, but 2 + 2 = 50. Samu Wraith says, measurements I can see teach people that you'd be surprised people don't know it.
That's damn true.
Samu Wraith says, just Call Makor has to be young.
Yeah, well he's you know, I'm not gonna say how old, but he's not as young as you think he would be. We had that block scheduling thing, yeah. Measurements, yeah.
Says, I have 3 kids.
Just
Call Makor says, that is how old I am.
Yes, he's 17 and has 3 kids. My dad, my uncle, and everything in the oil field. That's the big thing here around like Louisiana, Arkansas, South area. They had.
Dalek_Kurland says, but look on the bright side, the cane isn't used in schools these days. Samu Wraith says, well, you're lucky I don't have one. Hell, I'm in my 40s.
Yep, I have nothing and I'm in my 40s as well. You've accomplished more than I ever damn have in the fucking world. That's so damn true. But my family's mostly like oil field-ish kind of thing, you know, because basic school and then straight to oil field. It's what they always did. My uncle has people working for him that he would say, okay, go out there and measure that pipe or whatever and come back and tell me the measurement because I needed to cut this piece or whatever for whatever. The guy would go off and he would say, okay, well, that pipe was 12 feet, 13.5 inches. And he's like, 13.5 inches? He said, yeah. Or whatever, you know. It's like, so not like, you know, 13 feet, 1.5 inches. This is 13.5 inches. Plus the 12 foot. And he just would just shake his head because hitting a certain part on the tape measure or whatever would say like 12 feet, and then after that he just counted the inches, and instead of like just going, okay, well here's another foot or whatever. So it was really beyond basic. And I get like so many kids will come in from like the school there, and you can tell that they're in like a higher grade or whatever, and they won't know how much money
I'm 6 3/8, and I'm like not sure people get pissed off.
Right. But the kids, they'll have like 4 quarters and they'll say, "Is that $1?"
Just Call McCower says, I am a real 90s kid. That is how old I am. Not one of these fake 90s kids who was born in the 90s but didn't actually experience the awesomeness that was the 90s.
He's a Power Rangers kid.
Curland says, how is meat made? Oh boy.
Oh boy. Dun, 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 dun. Boy, there's been a lot of Rex's stuff going on tonight. Look at that. Another Rex. Yeah, he's a Power Rangers kid. I'm a gonna love the I was like 14 during Power Rangers. And I was in Taekwondo too.
Curland says, the 90s. I did not care for it.
I was in Taekwondo during the Power Rangers back in the day, and there was a 5-year-old boy that was in the kids class, and he was like same rank as I was. And the one thing we had in common, Power Rangers. We would sit and talk about that shit all the time. I even let him borrow the Green Ranger VHS tape so he can like watch it and shit like that. We would practice our like some would call it a kata, some would call it a form, whatever, like the little dancey things or whatever you do whenever you're
All 3 silos are under Allied control. Excellent work.
I got shit for that. I got 1,080.
Just Call McCower says, I have the Pink Ranger's Power Morpher.
Pink Ranger, Amy Jo Johnson. Why do I know that?
Curland says, I still remember the debut of the Green Ranger. Samu Wraith says, I graduated think it was 97. If that tells me you how old I am, just call McCower.
I graduated in 99 and failed twice in school itself, so there you go. That's how old I am. I failed 2nd and 4th grade when going to school. Because I was retarded. And I still am retarded. So I would have graduated in 97.
Curland says, was?
Yes, was.
Just Call McCower says, I graduated in 2003.
2003. Johnny's daddy was taking his clothes off in front of all the girls. 2003. Before all of that shit had happened. There was the war in schools. Plus side, you graduated.
Samu Wraith says, I remember I actually did that mission recently. Curland here.
Curland here. Yeah, I was one of the people that never really took shit seriously in school. I don't know if you might figure that out or not.
I
wasn't a clown or anything.
Curland here.
I didn't clown off in school or anything. I was just really, like, straightforward with everything. Like, they would say, hey, what's going on? Why are you upset? And I said, dude pissed me off. And the teacher would look at me like I said a swear word. I didn't know pissed was a bad word. Hey, there's a Laura Croft faking looking person thing there. Sabrina, the teenage bitch. Okay.
Samu Wraith says, wish they'd have gave Curland a proper voice.
They might. You never know. They could replace him. If he's not like an actual voice actor, SAG will probably do something to change that if they get the opportunity or need to. Curland here.
Curland says, I do have a proper voice, god damn it.
Hi, I'm Chucky, and I'm your friend to the end. Heidi-ho.
Instead of Curland here. Hi, I'm Chucky. What's up, Dak? Oh, I can get that because I'm standing right here. Hello.
Samu Wraith says, at Curland LOL, you know what I mean, haha. Just Call McCower says, I hated school. I only had a couple of friends my age, but I'm mostly connected with the teachers. They seemed more interesting to me than the boring high school kids that partied all the time and did stupid shit. Dalek_Curland says, Curland is more of a meme these days.
Lucari TFOs. Son of a bitch. So this the teachers. Yeah, I never really cared much for the partying people in my class or around the school. They would always say, hey, you need to come to this. I was like, no. We're going to have this, this, and this. No, thank you. That's not for me. Okay, thanks. You know, kind of thing. I was always the one everybody looked at. You know, like I'd be standing out there at break time, just standing around a pole that held the awning up or whatever. And people would look at me like I was going to do some sort of trick or some shit. What are you going to do today, Brandon?
Sam Wraith says, I had maybe 2 actual friends. One got off bad in drugs. Haven't seen him in years now.
Ooh. Hopefully he's still around. What are you going to do today, buddy? Huh? What are you going to do today? You going to do a trick, buddy? Huh, buddy?
Samu Wraith says, everyone hated me in school.
Why? What'd you do to him? Shit. Oh my fucking god. Look at that. Gravity kills. My fucking god. I hate that shit.
Just Call McCower says, I treated the lunch workers with dignity and respect, and thus I got free stuff all the time.
Yeah, see, that was a thing, yeah.
Says, I was very much ignored in school. I was not upset about this fact.
Huh. So you kind of was in the background then. Didn't do anything to spike up anybody's attention toward you. Yeah, dude, I treated everybody, like all the teachers. I didn't like act up or any kind of bullshit like that. I mean, I would occasionally crack a little joke if they ever called on me for things or whatever, you know, if I thought it was funny.
Dalek_Curland says, I did punch someone in the face once.
Did it feel good? Hey, no matter what they say, violence is sometimes the answer.
Samu Wraith says, I wouldn't do what they did or didn't talk like people wanted me to, so I just accepted it and kept to myself. Dalek_Curland says, yep.
I mean, I always got called out of the classrooms to go fix shit in people's like computers or something like that, but got called a hacker because I knew how to use the F8 button. No. You know, F8 key to bypass things or whatever at boot up, but I mean, they had that net nanny bullshit on the computers at school, so I was like, F8, don't load this. Okay, we're good, you know. You're a hacker. You can't do that. You can only do your schoolwork. You can't touch a computer at school anymore.
Samu Wraith says, people wanted to beat me up off in Scorp, but whatever, dude.
People wanted to beat you up? Why the hell would they want to do that? Well, they always try to challenge me or whatever, but because my mom had gotten me a Taekwondo jacket because I was taking Taekwondo.
Samu Wraith says, nobody tried though.
And people were always trying to antagonize me into fighting and bullshit like that, but I never would.
Dalek_Curland says, I fondly remember getting past blocked sites by using translation sites. Just Call McCower says, I actually did hack our school's network so I could get access to IRC ports since they were blocked by default, and I wanted to chat on IRC during my computer lab period.
I think I remember a time when you did. Back when you were a troll. You'd probably been in what, like 11th, 12th grade? If I'm remembering time correctly.
Just Call McCower says,
11, yeah.
11.
Yep, sounds about right.
Samu Wraith says, good thing they don't try to fight me now since I got my black belt.
Nice. Well, that was always a thing whenever I was in school. Like, I would never advertise the fact that I did take Taekwondo. I did not have this jacket before the point at which people would always want to challenge me or something like that. I never said, hey, I take Taekwondo. Hey, I'm a black belt or whatever like that. Because, I became a black belt as well. And but a couple of people that were also in the same taekwondo as I was, they would bring the video of like that their parents would tape of them, and they would actually play it in the classroom, to show their teacher that they take this and they're doing this or whatever. And they saw me in the video doing things or whatever, because they would record me too, apparently. And then that's whenever the school found out that I actually took taekwondo, that I was a black belt. So people would always come up to me and try to antagonize me to getting to like fighting them.
Curlin says, not creepy at all.
Not creepy at all, And so then whenever like everyone figured out about it, whatever, my mom said, well, I can get you a taekwondo jacket. And think, yeah, like I need something like that. Because I was wearing like a trench coat type thing back then. And then all of a sudden the trench coat mafia thing happened, in the world. So I was like, no, can't wear this anymore. And that's when my mom got me that taekwondo jacket. But and it got taken one time by somebody who was trying to provoke me into fighting. He just ripped it off of my arms or whatever like that, and took it over and danced around with it and all this kind of junk during break time and around lunch. And I didn't do anything, and the principal would come over there and said, he's got your jacket. Are you going to do anything? Because we don't need any kind of violence here. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to do a damn thing. I said, if I don't do anything, he'll bring it back at the end of break.
Says, that's when you ripped their eyeballs out.
No, I said, he'll bring it back at the end of break time. Trust me. He says, well, okay, but we don't need you to go over there and start anything. I'm like, I'm not going to start anything. I won't need to. And so he gave me the jacket back, and he never picked on me since about like wanting to fight or bullshit like that. So, see, it taught me not to avoid a fight. That's what you're supposed to do. And then people kind of like dwindled away from the whole idea of it, and cause I don't they kind of wanted to actually get into doing, and a few people from my school actually started up at the class that I was at, and I was actually teaching them taekwondo and stuff like that, and then eventually you kind of hang out at school after that happens and whatnot. But because I had an instructor rank.
Just Call Makor says, I was the tallest person in school, so on occasion people would try to antagonize me into fighting them. Dalek_Curlin says, are you going to do anything? Yes, you are completely right. Time for lunch.
Time for lunch, that's right, that's damn right, yeah. Well, yeah, I could see that. Like if you're a tall person, you're bigger than everybody or whatever, they're gonna try to challenge you because they think that they can pick on you. I mean, there was somebody that was in our class when I was in I think 8th or 9th grade that was like the tallest one in our class, and some taller than the next grade ahead of them, and they would get bullied into almost trying to fight, and they actually did get in a fight with them and body slammed the guy, and the guy like got hurt or whatever. And because we had at our break area outside the school was those concrete like benches and stuff, like you could just sit on, and like concrete tables and bullshit. And dude got slammed on one of those because the guy liked watching wrestling for one thing, and so the dude picked him up and just threw him right down on it on his back on the thing, and he laid there for a while. And the guy got sent home with suspension for like about maybe a week or whatever. And
Just Call Makor says, coaches tried to recruit me for the football team, and I'd be like, nah fam, I'm lazy as fuck and have to piss off a moderator of the Farscape chat on IRC.
Your priorities. Yeah. Man, I would still have those.
Dalek_Curlin says, reminds me of that kids in Australia who got so fed up with that kid punching him he just picked him up and tossed him.
I've done something before I ever something like that, but yeah, if I did not delete those logs, I would still have them, Core. But during a scripting event, Riker showed me how to get rid of, how to delete it. And I was like, no, I didn't want to delete those. And whenever the log files got deleted, of course, it bypassed the recycle bin, so they were gone forever. Unless and at the time I didn't know about undelete that you can download and try to save files. But yeah, ever since then though, I've still got every damn file, every log file, still to this day. Yeah, fed up that it punched him. He just picked him up and tossed him. Yeah, I mean, when I failed the 2nd grade, somebody in my class picked on me and called me stupid and that sort of thing. And you know, I was like, what, however old you are, like 8, something like that. And he took a swing at me when I was a kid in the playground or whatever, and I avoided it and used his momentum over my left shoulder or whatever, picked him up. And since watching wrestling, you kind of do that whole, like, you lift their legs up thing, and he fell and flipped over to the side behind me and on his back and stuff. And then he held his back and he just ran off saying that I, like, threw him down or whatever kind of bullshit. You get in trouble for defending yourself kind of shit, you know. And I told him, I said, no, I didn't hit him at all. He fell. And he did. Using one's own momentum against them whenever they're coming toward you is one of the best defenses. And I learned that way before I ever took any kind of, like, martial arts or anything like that. It was just
Dalek_Curlin says, I was, in my youth, very good at headlocks.
Nice. Could you do sleeper holds and shit? Put people to actual sleep? You can wriggle away and wiggle out of that one. Wriggle and a wiggle.
Satellite upgrades are now
Acknowledged. Damn it, I wish I... Oh, my God. I know one person that would still have the log files for all of that back in the IRC days, if he kept them.
Curlin says, not so much sleeper holds, but blocking airways, yes.
So choker holds. Did you study any of these holds, or did they just come kind of natural to you? Because I know some people can do it, like, naturally. They can figure it out, you know, from experience of other things or whatever like that. Crush a windpipe or two. What would Brian Boitano do? One thing I could say for sure, always find the vulnerabilities in everything. Everything has a weakness. Everyone has a weakness. Everyone's a test subject for the aliens. The aliens! Yeah.
Dalek_Curlin says, it was just reactionary, and then I found out it was the best was to stop a bully.
Ah, yeah, cut off their airway supply. That's one of the best ways, yeah. Watch them collapse to the ground and not breathe, yeah.
Just Call McCower says,
muscle memory from somewhere.
I remember back when 3+ way calling wasn't free like it is today. I would do a multi-person call every Friday on my work phone and we would chat until the latest of night. Then we all discovered TeamSpeak.
TeamSpeak! Yeah, TeamSpeak was fun. I've still got a, it's the sound clip of, was it Psycho Bunny? / Steve? Snoring. Snoring. Myron. I forgot all about TeamSpeak. Boom! If it's reactionary, that means deep down there's some sort of muscle memory that's transferred to you over this years and throughout your lifetime. You know, like maybe a parent and has this like ancestor thing or whatever that was a defense type person, and this down the line it's in your blood. I always want to just think that that's a thing. You
Just
know?
Call McCower says, there was you and I, Record, Psycha Bunny, Rinton on occasion, and Guyver until he was no more.
Till I pissed him off. I don't get it, dude. I still to this day don't understand why the hell he got so mad. But yeah, I ain't heard from him. I mean, I've got like what was it? His buddy still in my friends list on Facebook, but no, he got rid of my ass. I don't know why Tyrone was so funny. Tyrone had a bunch of jokes he would tell. Hell, I even met him in real life, dude. There was one time we were talking to the IRC there on Sci-Fi, and he was talking about like his computer having problems and stuff, and he and dude like
Just call Mako
came to my
says,
house.
According to Record, he became a hardcore Trump fucker, so knowing that I can see why he acted that way.
Trump fucker.
Nicaragua.
But no, though, he and his buddy, I can't remember dude's name, and I have him on Facebook. I see him like all the time posting shit, but not him though, not Guyver. But no, they like
Samu Wraith says,
came to my
better than
house,
being a bidden guzzler.
brought his computer, had me look at it. I can't remember what the hell for. And then they left that night. I was like, dude, and they drove all the way to my house. And I said, y'all will never be able to find it. And they did. They found it. I was like, wow. So a dude knows where I live, literally. He knew where I lived. If he wanted to, he could have come over and bust my ass. But he just owned me as a person. Told me to go die in a fire. And I thought it was funny. So I just kept on. I can't help it. Everybody else laughed. What had happened, for those that don't know, back in the IRC chat days, I was playing with Photoshop. And I was Photoshopping a picture of everybody because we all sent each other like a picture of ourselves. And I was Photoshopping everybody. And the Photoshop I made of him, he didn't like it. He told me that retardism is in his family and he don't want to see that because it would remind him of that. And I was like, dude, it's just a funny thing. I said, I got inbreeding and retardism in my family too. You don't see me throwing a fit. So he kept getting, he got mad and told me to delete it. And I said, okay, sure. So I then, instead of deleting it, I put it on the internet and shared it with people. So he got really pissed off. And then after he calmed down a little bit, I may have like crossed him up with a different person. Like he liked what was it that dude that what's his name played in that movie? Shit, I can't remember. But I made him look like somebody else. Removed his glasses, that sort of thing, and made a Facebook profile, and I invited Core to help administrate it, and had a picture there, and we would post like bullshit, on there, like time for dinner, and got home from college and all this kind of just bullshit. And then I showed him. I said, "Hey, do you know this guy?" And I sent him a Facebook thing, like a link to this the profile thing I created, and it was a picture of him modified, and everything. He goes, "No, who is that?" And I said, "Huh, let me see." So I said, "Hold on a minute, I'm going to send you a file." And I sent the picture he had sent us, and the picture next to the one that I manipulated was the same thing, but he could actually see it. And he said, "You motherfucker, delete it now. Get rid of it now. I'm going to contact Facebook, and I'm going to have your ass one." I'm like, dude, calm down, whatever, man. So he got really upset, and he said, "I hope you die in a fire." So then he unfriended me on Facebook and cut all like communication. And I thought, hey, this is funny. You know, and he kept sending me messages like because he kept checking to see if it was still active, and I was like, okay. So I removed it from being seen on Facebook, but I kept it there because I was like going to say, okay, later
Just
or
call
whatever,
Makover says.
you know.
Ha ha ha.
Yeah. So so
Just call Makover says. I still have fake givernaked.jpg.
he would get so pissed off at all that shit. I still got a bunch of the damn things too. Like you know, there's that picture out there on the internet of the guy, the fat dude sitting there that's naked or whatever, and I put his face on him. I manipulated his face onto like a girl and and made him a profile on some sort of lesbian website.
Just call Makover says. C2 at merp.jpg. Just call Makover says. Behave that too.
So, and then I would send him the links and say, hey, you signed up for another website. And he would get so pissed off. But the whole thing was, if he had been okay with his picture and just gave me a good laugh, I probably wouldn't have stuck with it so much because Riker, Apophis, well, you know, Eric, he actually defended me toward him one time and said, hey, man, it's just a joke. If you hadn't reacted the way you did, he probably wouldn't continue this. And I said, you know, you're probably right. What can I do now? And I just kept on. So that's the retarded part of me that continues to do shit like that. I can't help it. I mean, I'll be on like I randomly go onto YouTube and like see an image or something, and I'll see something that I can manipulate, and I'm like, oh, that looks awesome. So I'll screen cap it. I'll put it in Adobe Photoshop and get to go to town just making bullshit.
Makover says. Ha 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 ha. Guyver Star Wars Kid.jpg.
The Star Wars kid, yeah, the Star Wars kid. The retard. I have the fake movie poster called The Retard that I made that says starring Samuel L. Jackson and Guyver. And I said, how about this? Is this okay? He said, stop it, you're harassing me, kind of bullshit. And I'm like, blah, 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 harassment shit, blah, 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 blah.
Dalek_Curlin says, this is where we find out all the 90s memes are just form score.
Yeah. I did shit like that, and I don't understand why. It's just so funny. I would do like a totally looks
just
like before totally looks
says,
like.
I found the Tyrone picture. Maybe he got as angry as he did because he is racist.
It could be. See, okay. The dude we're talking about, Guyver, he's a white guy, and he liked what was it, John something? What was it? From the movie. It was played by Denzel Washington. Because he was a Denzel Washington fan of this movie. So I thought, okay, well, if he wants to be like Denzel Washington, we've got to change his race. So I did. And then all of a sudden, Tyrone was born. And he still has a Facebook page out there on Facebook. It's deactivated from like public view right now, but well, I don't know.
Curlin says, "Oh, you went the whole hog."
Yeah. But it wasn't a racist thing. It was just, you know, poking fun of him the whole damn time. I guess it was kind of bullying, right? They would call it bullying now.
Dalek_Curlin says,
like it.
I like it.
Yeah. And and I think the page is still on Facebook, but I don't remember if I have it like visible. Even though every once in a while I get like likes your page or something, and you could post on there like, and it would post as that person on the page, but now it puts your name next to it. So I had stopped posting for a while. Tyrone. I couldn't help it. I just couldn't help it. What was that time travel movie though that Denzel was in? That's where I think I got the idea from, or the whole thing about it was. But I couldn't help it. I mean, whenever he said that there's retards in like his family or something, and it's like a, you know, in his family tree. I snapped because I got some retarded me too. An inbreeding or what? No, it was an inbreeding thing. Because I gave him the Bubba teeth thing and gave him a sagging eye like Sloth from Goonies, and gave him a little kind of propeller hat, a little cowboy hat every once in a while, and manipulated the area around his groin to where it looked like he peed himself. And he hated that shit.
Just Call McCower says, I have a picture of a mouse in your room sitting on a lint roller.
A lint roller?
I am Cornholio. I need TV for my bunker.
Put your hands behind your back.
Are you threatening me?
Stop resisting.
Throw the book at him, Thirth. Take him to jail. He's a weirdo and no one likes him anyway.
You must release the almighty bunghole. You will not hurt the mighty bunghole. I will resist. I will resist.
Stay
Not
with
hurt me.
his hands. Stop.
You must release me now.
Nobody.
You will not restrain the almighty bunghole.
Says, this feels quite topical.
Well, yeah, that
Sam
probably
Wraith
would have
says,
happened.
Just Call McCower will resist.
I mean, I've taken pictures of a mouse that I put down a Dorito chip one night, and I saw a mouse, and he went after the chip, and I said, "Hey, man, what you doing? How you doing?" Like that. He just stood there and was scared, wasn't moving. I said, "No, I'm not gonna bother you. I'm just wondering how you doing. I gave you that chip, but just, if you say thank you, it's fine." So I had like a bunch of computers and shit still, like on another desk next to where I'm sitting right now, and he tried to take it and climb the computer wires.
Just Call McCower says, I have a picture of a dead deer for some reason.
There's no need. There's no telling. It's probably me too. There's a skint man standing behind him. Nah. But the mouse tried to climb the cables and fell, or the chip fell, and I said, "Now what are you gonna do?" And then I found the mouse, and it was like in my bathroom, and I said, "Oh, hey, little guy," and I put my hand down, and he came and bit my finger, and got blood struck, and so I was like, okay, so I don't want to get the hantavirus or whatever the fuck you may have, rabies or something. So I sucked the blood out, spit it out, washed it real good, and I'm apparently I'm okay. I mean, that happened like what?
Dalek__Curlin says, did the mouse just flip you off at this point?
Pretty much, yeah. But it got to where the mouse wasn't afraid of me, and it would come up to my chair, and I would throw a chip down or whatever, and it would take off it and run with it and eat it. So then I felt so sorry too, because they were trying to catch this mouse in the house. So there was like mouse traps everywhere and bullshit. And one day my stepdad was in the kitchen, and he said, "This mouse just walked up to me. I think he was sick or something like that." So I just stomped on him and threw him away. Like, no, no, not the little guy.
Samu Wraith says, I remember the one time I was checking for windshield washer fluid, this lady just stared at me. I said hi and she just kept on staring.
Like something was wrong with you checking it?
Dalek_Curlin says, not Tyrone.
Not Tyrone. No! Bastards.
Just Call McCower says, I have a picture of Koreag TV YouTube channel, and man, YouTube is totally different.
It has really changed. I installed that that thumbs down dislike plug-in or whatever, so I can see dislikes again. I didn't know you can disable those now, to where you don't get likes or dislikes on a video. The evolution of YouTube has completely changed. I totally agree. I like to reminisce every once in a while, and I'll go through my images file.
I don't see why the heck they did away with dislikes.
Yeah, they disabled people viewing them, but the information is still on the page as it generates. Like you can click dislike, but you can't see how many people disliked it. So if you install on a computer a third-party plugin for your web browser, you can see the number again because it's on the page anyway. But it does, yeah, it doesn't make sense. I guess it was like making too many people insecure about like their video and shit. I mean, hell, I was always used to seeing dislikes of every damn thing I made. used to get death threats and stuff because of them. It was all good though. Those truck drivers never came and found me. Oh, I need to look up a Where's George bill. Got one of those in the register the other night. I like to use where'sgeorge.com. It's fun. But yeah, I have a... an images folder in my storage drive, and every image that I've ever had, I put it in there, and every once in a while I'll just go through and like just play it back just to remember shit. Those were the days. Oi, the way Glenn Miller plays. I hang on to everything for some damn reason. And I installed a PlayStation 3 emulator that actually works, and downloaded for free as well. Downloaded, not illegally either, straight off of PlayStation's website. Super Street Fighter 2 HD Remix, and I've tried to play that. And I suck. I think I may need to hook up my old SNES controller to the computer because I do have an adapter. Because I've been trying to use the Xbox controller that isn't really good for that. Because when trying to drive on GTA 5, it would just get stuck going straight instead of actually going left or right. So it's got issues. And the buttons don't work too much correctly. So I'm thinking... Or unless I just borrow my stepdad's PlayStation controller. I think he's got a PlayStation 3 or 4. Or maybe a regular... Well, they don't use USB, do they? The regular ones. Not even the 2s use a USB.
Dalek_Curlin says, who remembers the original Xbox controller?
Me, because I have one. You got the image out there that... somebody has of the Xbox, the average one that everyone uses now versus the first one.
Dalek_Curlin says, freaking massive, and, wonderful things.
The image says father with a question mark above it. Street Fighter SF2. Dun, 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 dun.
Sonic Boom!
Sonic Boom! Yo got fire, bitch. And I was happy in the Street Fighter 2
But
HD
you don't have to
remix.
take my word for it.
In the Super Street Fighter 2 HD remix, they actually kept the first
Just
announcer guy.
Says, I remember I had you recreate a watermark for me to put over an image of me holding a controller to show how huge my hands are, and then pretended it was a stock image. Samurai says, cool down?
Oh, really? Cooldowns are in... They are. It's turned back on. I disabled that. Only people with mod privileges can actually change the toggle on that too. I tested that. I think it works. I'm not sure. It's Streamlabs yet, so who knows. So it may be re-enabled or something. Controllers. I did a what was it? We were faking that dude who's in the cybersecurity, of which I cannot name his name because he's asked me not to ever do that.
Fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here. He wanted to show a buddy of his a concept of an Apple console, like a gaming console by Apple. So he had me manipulate an image of an Apple something or whatever to add like controller USB outlets and like the
Murdoch says He goes by the name Sperm Cycler.
This is some bullshit.
Dalek_Curland says, there was an Apple game console once.
Yeah, well, this was like back maybe 2003 or 4, where he wanted me to. He gave me like the ideas of what he wanted, and I made a concept art piece or whatever, or like in Photoshop, of like the component cables, RCA cables and stuff, connectors. HDMI wasn't a thing really then as much, so all this other kind of like connectors and the stuff in the back and whatnot, and like a fake video of it play or whatever. And I didn't do that as my other self. Only ships. We'll do that instead of a random for Gary. But yeah, I don't know what he ever did with it though. In one of my first animations in 3D software in Milkshape 3D, a Wonkel engine that he wanted to like show somebody too, like the concept of that working. That dude's pretty cool. He's still around too. Every once in a while, he'll send me like a message saying that he's still out there and to delete the message immediately after, kind of bullshit. He's like one of those Edward Snowden type people. If you want to know who he is, I've mentioned the website that I used to maintain back then.
Sure he isn't Mr. Gadget.
No, he's not. He's just really into cybersecurity and stuff like that. Like what not to do online. He's like super secure about everything.
Samu Wraith says, at Murdoch's next time gadget.
But
Murdoch says, this message will explode after reading.
This message will self-destruct after 3 seconds. Dun, 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 dun. Da-da. But a site that I used to, I guess you would say, run. He had the domain. He had the space on the internet. He allowed me to put my Farscape website on there as long as I didn't have the video clips and audio clips there, which I put on there, and he let me have full run of the site.
Samu Wraith says, Murdoch's is secretly Dr. Claw.
And I would make a database, kind of like IMDb, just for sci-fi movies and shit like that. You know, a website where you can like search and select what movie or whatever, and read about it or whatever like that, and all the actors and shit or something. You know, it was something that I was working on. I gave up, but yeah, I mean,
Murdoch
it's still out
says,
there.
The message reads, "My hole is wet and prepared for you."
And it was a pretty. I liked the website, but he was wanting to do away with it, so he asked me if I would want to buy the domain from him, and I said no because he wanted a lot for it because he had bought it himself. It wasn't one of those like go to GoDaddy and buy it for like $9.99 for a year kind of bullshit. It was like actually a name, and I like say no. And he still owns the thing. I can probably ask him if I can buy it from him. But the name servers still point to his actual website that he does have. And off subject though, before The Matrix ever came out, the dude that I always refer to as Chorn or Uber Chorn, that was in the Farscape chat with us, he had thematrix.com, thematrix.net, way before The Matrix ever came out. All he had was like a rotating cube on the front page and some other bullshit. But he ended up selling it to somebody who then sold it to Warner Brothers. I thought that was pretty cool, though. Seahorn run, Seahorn jump. He used to say that shit all the time. Yeah. Old Chorn gave me yachts. The infobot that he put in the Farscape chat that would learn things and remember shit and log the chat, I had fun playing with. Gave me the idea of my own bot. House bot. House being a redneck term or southern term. House. And
But you don't have to take my word for it.
Bleeding asshole.
Just Call Makover says, no lie. I am pretty sure Chorn was asked by Justin.tv, which is what Twitch used to be, to run their IRC server, and he declined. Samu Wraith says, Murdoch's bleeding a hole might need help.
I wouldn't doubt it. He himself was into like websites and service and building things and stuff like that, and cybersecurity. Because, you know, it was metricmatrix.com, I think it was the other site that he had, and I always asked him what he did, and he said surveys. I was like, surveys about what? And I never could get a straight answer. I guess he was serious. I don't know. Like they were like a surveying company where they would throw out survey for businesses or something and whatnot, that people could actually, like, you know, do a survey, not go out there and say, okay, this land's level. You know, kind of actually, you know, do a survey, multi-level survey. I even have a few of his shirts that he sent, which had software. I mean, like DVDs and shit in software mostly, because his wife worked for Kodak at the time, and she would always get free CDRs.
But you don't have to take my word for it.
How in the world? Son of a bitch. What are the odds? Seriously. Over 500 something sounds. What are the odds that that would be a random one right after you already played one of them? That's amazing. That is amazing. It makes me laugh. No, he sent several shirts. Actually, ended up giving a few away to people around the area here where I'm at. At my mom's store one time.
Samu Wraith says, for sure it played against Scorp.
For years. Did I get them all, Pokemon? Oh, Endeavors is flashing too. Yay. What are we going to get this time? Let's
Just
see.
Call Makover says, I remember NBC/USA Networks ran their IRC servers on the same machine but different ports, so if you went to irc.sci-fi.com 6665 it would go to the USA Network IRC server.
I want to say... Damn, that's long. I want to say I kind of remember that for some reason. Like, accidentally not doing a 6667. The ports and shit. Because, yeah, NBC USA was sci-fi too at the same time. Really like to have a copy of that, the IRC server they had, just to see how wacky it was. Because it had, like, flaws all over the damn place. The exploits and shit that you took advantage of.
Congratulations, General.
Congratulations, General. God, they have to have an orchestra play every time a Klingon celebrates his life or some shit. It's really crazy. Speaking of that, did I do this yesterday?
Just Call Makover says, Steve recreated that IRC server in Python, bugs and all.
He did. All the bugs and shit. Damn, that server was so... That's pretty amazing, though, to do that. Well, they had, like, I think some access to some of the actual, like, way it was, like, more so than a lot of people. Because I think he and Eric and whatnot, and I think Josh there for a while, actually went in with Barbarella. You know, how everybody kind of just ended up hating her for some reason. Farscape, can't remember. And they had, like, the ability to actually manipulate the server and add security features to it, like that whole IP hiding thing or whatever that happened there. But that's pretty cool. He did that and recreated all the errors and shit. That's funny. That shit was ran some old backwoods gerbil, I swear. Hamster or some shit.
Just Call Makover says, found it.
Found it.
Just Call Makover says, https://github.com/psychobunny/gstage.
Seriously.
Al! Alan!
Yeah, I don't think it is, you know.
Alan! 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 Al! Alan! 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 Alan!
Oh, so that's not Alan. Steve, that's Steve.
Steve! 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 Steve!
Oh, no, that's not Steve. That is Alan.
Alan! Alan! Al! Alan!
Exploits.
Alan!
Samu Wraith says,
Alan!
Core,
Did someone
Al.
just say my name? Hey! 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 You say Alan?
Including buffer overflow problems. I've been written as a hobby out of nostalgia. That's pretty cool. 12 years ago. Wow. That's pretty sweet. I want to download that. Download zip. Nice. Nice, Steve. Nice. He created it. Everybody used to love to fuck with that server. It was so funny. Prompted a new version of MIRC. Oh shit. Those were fun days, you know? I kind of miss that. It's like, if I could travel back in time, I'd just sit there and... Well, actually, since I have a lot of the log files, I could probably just recreate like a player of sorts and replay a lot of the the chats and shit. But I wasn't online all the time, though, so I won't have all of them. But I know someone who was. But I highly doubt he kept all the log files, because that'd be a lot of text. Yachts, my buddy! Since I do have yachts now. Chorn gave me yachts. And his database. Which I've been trying to implement into Discord and here. By recreating Infobot for Twitch.
Just Call Makover says, I remember Yoshi was the one that discovered that exploit and then told Khaled that MIRC didn't comply with IRCD buffer protocol.
That's because I swear that Khaled, or whatever his fucking name was, stole that shit. He Bill Gates the hell out of it from somebody. He had to. Because he wasn't aware of a lot of shit. He wrote it himself, remember? That's what he said. But how do you write it yourself and not know to do something like that to fix shit? Like I mentioned about the sound thing. He says he thought it was ran by the Windows MCI. I'm thinking, well, dude, you're the one that wrote this shit. You should know where it comes from. Yeah. It's like, I just have that feeling like he reverse engineered it, like he did a Bill Gates to it. That's just what it's just what it feels like in my head. My gut feels that. I mean, it was too close to another IRC completely, but then he kind of offset it with the whole scripting language thing, you know. But it operated the same as a different one did. But for somebody who creates the software and doesn't know much about what's going on in it, it's almost like he may have copy-pasted some code and said, here's mine.
Just Call Makover says, his reason for having it not comply is because all IRCs had the buffer capped in the code itself, but Global Stage, SIFI's IRCD, was not RFC compliant.
Sci-Fi Channel. They're a very low-budget type of place to probably work at. So they had budgeting issues all over the damn place. I'm surprised Bonnie didn't hammer the fuck down on that shit too. Okay. There's that there. I don't know. I just had that gut feeling. Especially like when you ask somebody about their own software and they don't know what the fuck it is.
Samu Wraith says, you guys are talking crap I know zip about.
Well, we're sorry. It's MIRC, it's IRC chatting, which is what you're doing right now, actually, and you're not even aware of it. Twitch uses IRC protocol. Civilian officers, just reminiscing about good old days. Because I've known Just Call Me Core since early 2000s. When he used to be a troll on the sci-fi server. Imagine that. Him a troll. Hasn't changed much. Provoking.
Just Call McCower says, and then the sci-fi takeover happened when what's-his-face impersonated a Farscape actor might have been Stargate. And got end-S access and then changed the operator password.
Oh my god. See, I didn't even know about that. I didn't know about that at all. I kind of like disbanded away from the IRC sci-fi channel and was mostly like, cause Eric had made his own like IRC server that we would just sit on too, and Chorn had his that I would sit on over there, and I just kind of dwindled away from the sci-fi itself. That's whenever they were implementing all that the security shit and whatnot. So I just like, meh, you know, kind of gave up. Went and sat in my own little corner. Yep. That's why a lot of the IRC chat commands actually work here on Twitch.
Scorpwana says, action farts.
So they like the action thing. No one knows about it or uses it because they're not aware of it, but it's an emote action. And that's what it's called too. Like the reason why it said action is because the IRC protocol says in capital letters action whenever it's supposed to be an emote. And it doesn't know how to handle it because no one really uses it.
Just Call McCower says, I funded that IRC server and then we went to cancel it and found a bug in their processing servers because they didn't delete server access when canceling the server. So the owner gave Eric free access for life.
Oh, and is that how like he was able to like they went in and they kind of changed everything up and created that who was it? Somebody had made the IP address masker thing or whatever. and they went in there too to kind of fix the software for sci-fi. Damn it, that was funny shit though. We'll do that one there. I'm trying to build up something here. I'm trying to do something here. Oh, tomorrow this will be engineering facilities will be upgraded to level 1. Nice. What do we get with level 1? Fleet 23rd century ground weapons, 23rd century uncommon duty officers.
Says,
nice.
I was talking about Eric's server. His server is still running even though nobody is on it.
Seriously. I wonder if like the commands are still, if they have those in this IRC chat thing. Server. Nope. Channel. Join. Test. Unrecognized command join. So his server's still... Well, I can't even access MIRC anymore. Every time I turn it on, it wants me to activate it for some damn reason. Even though it's been activated forever. So I would have to buy an activation for it and upgrade it and all that, I'm sure. But I don't wanna. Ooh. Research lab provisions. Let's do that. 20 of those. I mean, I kind of stepped away from IRC. The stuff that, if I were to upgrade MIRC, the scripts and everything would be kind of outdated. Anyway, they'd have to be recreated. And I don't got it in me to recreate from MIRC. I can't even remember how to do a hash table on there anymore. I can't even remember a lot of that. It's like a whole nother lifetime ago. Back when I had thought there were meaning to life. That magical rainbows did exist. Ooh, upgrades available. Nah, we're not gonna do the weekly shit. What's up, Doc? I don't fucking know. What the hell? What's this do? Unlock research lab duty officer research assignments. What does it require, though? 480 research lab provisions. Holy shit, motherfucker and cocksucker. Look at that shit. Okay, we'll do it. Special projects available. Nope, just lithium sinks. We're not going to do that shit. This fleet is not about throwing the lithium away on that kind of bullshit. Blah. Okay, 20 of those. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah. Well, folks, down here. What have we got? Blue. I'm gonna catch it up though with a different one, so make them like kind of even. 500, 500, 500. Provision through fleet ships too. Might as well do that. I don't know. Is it saying like the overview for this? If someone's like, well, it just tells you that. Increased in grade. Oh, it's so nice to see people that are actually in the fleet active. That's so cool. That is so cool. It makes me happy thinking I'm actually somebody. Just one more thing there, one more thing, you bastard. What happened? Usually you can hover over this thing and it tells you when someone joined the fleet or some shit. Oh no, it's last online and they have to be offline. That's right. Damn it, I'm sorry. There it is, last online. Okay. I'm sorry, it won't happen again, damn it. I'm sorry, Meg. I'm sorry, you bastard. Alright. I think we're done with Gary. I'm gonna do that there. Ooh, Mark's package. Use that shit. Hell's yeah, bitch. Okay. Alright. Let's go off of here. 3 hours
says,
and 19 minutes.
Sorry you basted.
You bastard. You're sorry, you sorry bastard. 3 hours and 19 minutes. That's not too bad. That's about average. For me getting to Gary like that. God. I believe that'll be it for me tonight. Day, night, tomorrow. My baloney has a first name. It's O-S-C-A-R. My baloney has a fucking second name. It's M-A-Y-E-N. How about... we can host MST3K for one last time, because tomorrow's the 3rd, and that's the last day that host will be available. They actually sent me a thank you on on Twitch, saying thank you for the host. I was like, wow, nobody's ever sent me a thank you, and plus it comes from MST3K, one of my favorite shows. That's pretty awesome. So I think we'll do that. Let me throw a red shirt out there because I didn't do that yesterday.
Murdoch says, they should leave hosting alone.
I know, right? Charlie, get your ass over there and get shot. Okay, sir.
Captain, I see something.
Well, fine then, Charlie. Die then, mister. Let's see a different one. Damn it to hell, that damn cooldown shit. I'm not exempt from it either, you see? Okay, well, what the fuck ever. I thought I had that off.
Just Call Makora says, cooldown is the best.
Cooldown is the best. And I think only mods and up can use that command. Because I have it in there, like, has permission. I had to create that using the built-in stuff of, yeah. So if anybody tries to toggle it,
Just
it's lower
Call
than that.
Makora says, you thought you turned it off, but then you went and got pizza.
Well, yeah. See, I was testing it before I got on here. Because I moved, the command was inside of the sound script. So I thought, well, why have it there if it's going to be used for both video and sound? So I just put it into my, like, random commands script that I have. So I was moving things around and tested it to make sure it still worked right or not. And I turned it off, and, yeah, I went to go get pizza. So you must have turned it on, didn't you? You did, didn't you? I can't scroll back that far either. Shit.
Just Call Makora says, yeah, I gave it one last good test.
Gave it one last good test. Yeah. I was thinking about, like, changing it to where the word toggle is separate, and then, like, toggle would be used for other things. Like toggling this, toggling that, giving everyone else the ability to switch my settings for a lot of this stuff instead of just myself, you know. Toggling things. Even creating like a little user interface would be kind of cool. Linking it to the website and then darting it back. Could you imagine that? Running it off of a PHP website. And then, like whenever you like enable this, click submit, it then sends it to my computer and it downloads into and it changes my actual setting for the chat, and it pops up in the chat that setting's been changed. I don't know. It's a bunch of bullshit that I can do, but it would take time to do it. Because I have it doing the opposite. You know, anytime that someone does one of my achievements on here, well, it changes the achievement, it updates their file, and then it opens up a SSH STP upload or whatever, and it goes and it uploads it to the website to update it automatically. Since I don't want to do it manually, and they said you can't do that because you know Python and Streamlabs chatbot is core or whatever, or no, it's Iron Python, so it doesn't allow for website or external connecting or anything like that because it's self-contained. But I found a workaround for that. You port it over to using some other Python parts or whatever that aren't supposed to be allowed. But yeah, you call for a sub process and have it run a secondary script that has all that information in it. But you know, whatever. Went around all that bullshit. Anyway, 6 viewers. I'm going to type host. Hopefully it still works. Yeah, it still works. MST3K. Alright, I'd like to thank everybody for being here tonight, to morning, to evening, to wherever you are in the world. Be awesome. It's pretty cold out there today, night. So yeah, good night everybody. I'll be back online again tomorrow. Or try to be. I never know if I will or won't, because you never know. Something could happen. I could
Murdoch
die.
says, night.
Good night, dude. I'll try to get some sleep this time. I keep going to, like, I go to bed, I wake back up, I get in front of the damn computer, I do shit, and then when I go to bed, everyone in the house is woken up, so they're all talking, the dogs are barking, so it's even harder to sleep, so then I don't get enough good sleep. I need to go, like, actually to sleep and not wake up. Because usually waking up is either caused by just laying there and staring at the ceiling, drifting off, and then waking back up and an hour's passed by and I can't go to sleep, so I'm just laying there for like 30 minutes, can't do nothing. Or either going to the bathroom and not being able to sleep again, kind of thing. Anyway, here we go. Gonna press host, and good night. Hosting has started. You are a bastard. You know you are too.
Hi, are you on your feet all day?